little bit. I want to go to this one place, which is like a chain coffee shop called Fuck Long or Fuck Long, but it sounds funny. It's a little bit sneaky turn. Anyways, yeah, going there. Usually it's like a chain coffee shop, but this specific branch is beautiful. Hi, Antonio. You're doing well. Wish you all the good day. Let me show you the streets. So this is the area where quite narrow streets. Gotta be careful because there is no sidewalk. Okay, that's good. Anyways, there's nothing special in this part. I'll show you a little bit more in the when I'm going to the central area. But yeah, nothing specific about today. No particular topic. Just a live stream and Q&A session, just for the sake of consistency. My mic is on. For those who don't know, I'm in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh, in Vietnam. If you've never been there, highly recommend. It's a beautiful place with beautiful people. Quite an international hub as well. And yeah, coffee shops everywhere, restaurants everywhere. Hi, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? It's a little bit, the sun is going down, so when I make a turn, the picture should be better. Ooh. Where are you from? I'm originally from Georgia, the country, not the state. So if you know who's Merab Balishvili, Liat Pouria, that's UFC, and Khalicha Kvaratskhelia, football, arm wrestling, Levan Saginashvili, weightlifting, Lasha Talahadze, all those are fellow Georgians from the same country. I'm wondering what is biting me. Is it a mosquito or something else? Okay, now I'm more into, I'm one of the, like I wouldn't call it the main street, but this is a separate district. It's quite lively, let me show you. Always a lot of scooters. I think this is a temple. Hi everyone, hi to new people. Anyways, I'm gonna cross the road somewhere here. The main rule is just get the right momentum, right timing, and just walk slowly. Momentum hasn't come yet. Okay, now here we go. Now the other side too. Gotta be careful. Okay. All right. Done. Across the road. Coconuts. It doesn't smell awful here at all. It is a little bit trashier in this area because they sell food but usually they clean up. And I've been in India. Trust me, it doesn't smell even remotely close as bad as in some parts of India. No offense, but it's just a fact. The Nachang city where we usually stay, and we're planning to go back to so-called our hometown, is very clean. It's a smaller city, so it's easier to maintain it. Well, even if it does, and it probably doesn't bother me at least. Walking. So you're going to a specific coffee shop. Just want to get some. They have other stuff like smoothies and stuff like that. So I'm feeling like for a mango smoothie or something like that. Hello. How is it going? Everything's going fine. The bus is coming, so I should probably step on the sidewalk. Sidewalks are narrow and busy here, let me tell you that. How was your day? It was alright. Woke up late to check out from the other place. Our booking, the place we booked, messed up a little bit, so we had to move one night to the other place and then come back to the same place that we have booked today. So we checked out from the other place, came back to the new place, had some nap, and now just out walking. As I said, I want to drink some smoothie or something. Definitely not a coffee right now, but some smoothie would be nice. Okay, turn around. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia. Georgia, Tbilisi, not the state. Yeah, as I said, like I don't smell anything right now. Usually they try to keep it clean, but in the active hours it might be a little bit, just way too much. Usually they start cleaning up at the in the night time. That's good. Don't be tired. Yeah, I won't. Not the one of the most active days, but at least a little walk is never bad. Do you know Ilya Taporia? Yes, I mean I know who is he. We have some common acquaintances. Georgia is very small, but I never met him personally. Of course, I know as every Georgian, I know who Ilya Taporia is. That's a cool Georgian girl. Thanks. I agree with you. All right. Well, feel free to ask questions. It's a Q&A live stream. I'm gonna be able to sit. There are a lot of interesting places around. So here, it's actually worth to show you. Mirab. Yes, Mirab. So they have very cool open area style bars and coffee shops and combinations of those two. This is quite an active street at night. It's not like a party street or anything like that, but there are a lot of food places, drinks. You can get pretty much everything you want. Oh, that looks cool. I don't know what's that, but it looks cool. You did something for lunch. I ate something for breakfast. I'm not a frequent eater. I prefer to eat a couple times a day. Urban Garden. This seems like a shop. All right. Whole country full of cowards. Many people are cowardly. I won't argue on that one. But it's quite a loud statement calling the entire country cowardly. Believe versus Islam, to me that fight is 50-50. Looking forward to see it. But first, I think, and confirm me if I'm right, the Ilya versus Pimblet is signed up for the Paramount event, and well, they apparently, yeah, thank you. Okay, let's see. Actually, I might sit outside. Okay, I don't know, there was a problem with connection or something, but now it seems to be better. I'm just wondering to go. I think this area is closed. Nope. Let me think. Where to sit? I spent way too much in the room under the air conditioning, so I'm willing to sit outside. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think I found a place. Okay, so waiting for my order. This thing gonna beep. Anyways, let me look at the chat. Where you going? Just gonna have some smoothie. I was coming to this specific place. You're right about network. That's a good idea. Sitting outside. Yes, it looks like better now. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, the country. Just give me a second. I'll turn on the fan. They have outside fans here, and that might be a good idea. Let's see. Yeah, it's moving. Seems to be all right. Georgia's cool. Thanks. Where you from? I already responded to that one. What's your major? I don't have a so-called university education. I have a personal training course certification, and I've been working as a personal trainer and everything regarding that, including the diet and sleep and lifestyle optimization. And I've been self-employed for years now. I've been working online and offline by myself. Whew, it's hot here. Definitely hot. I want to say a couple words about the Vietnamese people. They are very nice. And I want to say that because like in the small details. Like today we were so much asleep, and the cleaning lady came in, so we had to check out. Fortunately, we had everything packed, so we just got up, dressed up, and we're like, okay. And obviously we let her in. She started cleaning, and she saw we were out of water, and we didn't say anything. She just gave us the brand new water, just a little nice gesture. And that has been a lot happening in Vietnam. So one of the reasons we really love it here. Okay, so ciao, or ciao, ciao. How old are you? I'm 25 years old. Are you in Vietnam right now? Yes, in Saigon. Your tattoo. Yeah, it's a cool tattoo. Some people remember me because of tattoo. They're like, I don't remember where we met, but I remember your tattoo. I've been told that a few times in my life. You're from US? No, I'm from Georgia, though not the state, the country. From Tbilisi. What's new? Oh, nothing specific. Everything's good. The life is chill. Having a little vacation in Saigon, including Halloween. By the way, dressing up as the Black Widow on Halloween. So I'll show you that outfit. And then we go back to Nha Trang, basically where we train, where we just eat, live the actual life, meet some friends, and we're planning to spend the next few months like that. I'm Italian, Diana, ciao. That makes sense. You can say ciao as the greeting, and because we say ciao as the, I mean, that's very commonly used within Westerners as the goodbye. No makeup, lipstick, but apart than that, nothing. And a little bit of concealer under my eyes. Have a good trip, thank you. USA, no. Georgia, the country, in the Caucasus region. Every time I say Mirab Valishvili, Lia Topuria, and maybe some other Georgians, people are like, oh, now we understand which country. Are you live alone? Well, right now I'm live alone, but I'm not single. I have husband. We just keep taking the nap. We both had a nap after checking into the new place, and I just came out to move some bones. Greetings from Russia. Hi. Are you ginger? Not naturally though, but pretty much yes. It can be considered. I mean, I dye my hair ginger. You look like my ex-girlfriend. What languages do you know? I know Georgian, Russian, and English all fluently. UFC fighters Mirab and Topuria, yes. How are you? Quite chill. Where are you from? Georgia, the country, Sakartvelo. In Georgian we say Sakartvelo. Kartveli is the Georgian, and Sakartvelo is like Thailand. Thai people and Thailand. So Sakartvelo is like a, I mean, Sa doesn't mean anything on its own, but if you as the prefix, it's means that it's like a land of cartwheels. I can't believe you can speak Georgian. Diyah. Kartvelo ლაპარაკობ თავისუფლად და ვინც იცის ქართული გამიგებს. I said that yes, I talk it easy, fluently, and whoever knows Georgian, they will get me. Привет, I'm learning Russian. Oh, good for you. Russian is quite a big language. I mean, if you're learning Russian, that might help you in some of the other countries. Despite a lot of people might refuse speaking to you in Russian, like in Georgia, because of the political situation, but generally speaking, as the language, it's can be useful. You're a wife and dressed like, well, my husband doesn't have the problem how I dressed, and this is Vietnam. It's like it's 30 plus degrees Celsius, so I'm just having a tough, like everyone else. And actually, what I was quite surprised with, the north of Vietnam is more conservative, also due to the climate, but the south of Vietnam, because it's hot pretty much all year, every year, like the shortest skirts I've seen ever, like girls wearing, and it's a normal thing, and it's not, you know, no one is judging that, and I can see that it's kind of culturally normal here, at least in the southern areas and southern cities. It's normal, you know. So you gotta come to Vietnam and see yourself. Come to Rome, Diana. One day, Rome is a dream, I guess, for everyone. It's a cultural dream. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. Ti amo. I love you. Is it French? No, I'm not French. As it apparently not French. Sun versus Ilya, 50-50 fight. Depends how it goes, because skill-wise they both are well-rounded. With a slight advantages in the different aspects, and essentially, yeah, that fight is 50-50 to me. You're clever. Thank you, I guess. I never heard Georgian. It wasn't strange enough for me. The phonemes are understandable. I don't know. Georgian is actually doesn't have much common with, unless there are certain international words integrated in the language, like telephone, teleponi, like television, televisori, like TV. What else? Internet, interneti. So those kind of stuff you're gonna understand, but everything else you gotta learn it from scratch, I think. Well, you can see this tattoo because it's just my arm tattoo. This is the left arm, by the way. I'm from Netherlands. I'm from Bangladesh, and it's almost winter here, even though it's kind of a tropical region. Well, it depends. In Bangladesh is upper of India, right? Sorry for my geography if I'm not correct, but in India, some of the northern parts can be turned very cold. Oh, thank you. I don't know. This one didn't work, I think. But, yeah.
Just like a located device.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I got my smoothie. It's a mango smoothie. Okay, let me look at the chat. Who are you and what you doing? I'm Diana. It's called, this channel is Red Hat Diaries, and I think this is Aloe. And what I was saying. And if you look at my channel right now it doesn't seem like, but I'm actually doing quite a lot of boxing content and training content, sharing my journey. That's why it's called Red Hat Diaries. And yeah, basically sometimes I have talking. Let's talk about important stuff. When we talk about mental health in sports, and importance of making mistakes and failing, and like how training and athletics and sports is like 99% of the work rather than talent, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you want to see that more of that kind of content, stick around, because when we're back to Nha Trang, I'm going to get back to it quite actively. you're a spy. People tell me, but I always deny. I'm from Georgia. My husband's never gonna leave me alone, and I'm definitely not leaving him alone. I'm just letting him have his nap right now, but he might wake up any moment and join the chat. That's the first thing he does, because we're resting quite a lot here. We're letting ourselves sleep as much and nap as much as we can on the free time. And when I come out and I start live streams, sometimes he's still asleep, and then he wakes up, and that's the first thing he checks. He always checks the live stream. If I'm live streaming at the time. I just know that Georgian writing is very strange. The letters all look like circles. Yes, but once you learn the alphabet, here is this thing. It's the way you write the words. You read them exactly the way they're written. So by extension, once you learn alphabet, you're gonna learn how to read. Even though if you don't understand the words, you will be able to read them. It's very delicious. Yeah, one of the best mango smoothies in this place, and I love this branch specifically. It's, you have some plants, and it's very, very open, very nice. So I like to come here quite often when in Saigon. Enjoy your smoothie in hot weather. Appreciate it. Thank you. What's the time here? Here it's 4:31, so it's hour and a half difference. We're hour and a half behind. It's your short videos. Yeah, I should start making more. My husband was helping me on that one, but then he had some work to do himself, and for some time now I haven't been uploading much of the shorts, but I'll get back to it. Right now it's vacation, so I decided just to do as much live streaming, because that helps to grow the channel the most. And then when we're back to Nachang, back to our gym and the boxing training, all that kind of stuff, then it's going to be more of the different type of content. What do you think about India? We've been in India for a month in 2024, in the beginning of 2024. It was very interesting cultural experience. We were in Mumbai, Goa, Amritsar, Haridwar, Rishikesh, and Delhi, so in that exact sequence. And the two of those in Mumbai and Amritsar we spent with our Jain friends who showed us around, and they made the experience even better. I loved Rishikesh personally. It reminded me some of the Georgia, and it's smaller. It's a smaller population. It's way cleaner, surprisingly. It's actually quite nice, and it's very spiritual for the people, for the yoga lovers, and a lot of people from all around the world go there to get their certification and the courses for yoga teachings. Pretty much was interesting. But India is big, so there's some other parts that I think I would love to see. You're very active, that's good. Thanks. Yeah, you can be a spy. I will never admit that. Okay, please don't spam, okay? I already responded to that when I got to the chat, but please stop spamming, guys, because I'm going to time you out. And my moderators, whoever's going to show up, I'm going to time you out too. Most beautiful fighter, respect and love from Pakistan. Or they're way better female fighters and considered professionals. I'm just on my way to aiming for the professional boxing, but doing it gradually and without, how to say that, like I'm married, we're living our life, we travel. So in the context of traveling, having different bases, different gyms and communities where we can train and where I can train and prepare and potentially do the fights and see how it goes. That's the stage I'm at right now. I've been in amateur boxing years ago. I had like less than 5 fights, but I had a lot of open ring sparring and fighting experience. Then I retired, but I never quit on training. And I'm talking about that's like a 10-year ago period, like 10 to 8 years ago. So 8 years ago I retired, then I've been doing like sparring partner training on and off, helping some of my female friends to spar and get better, get some training. And a few months ago I decided why wouldn't I do that too and actually show the journey and all the difficulties and the positives and tricks and the nuances and technique and all that kind of stuff, on my YouTube platform. You cannot be fighter, your body's too weak. Well, I might not look too dense, but I'm actually small, so I would do like a 51 kg, 48, down to a minimal weight. Right now I'm 54, I think. So I'm not too weak, and I'm training strengths. I'm not training hypertrophy, so I'm stronger than I look. Remember that she was looking for a wife in Georgia? You could be a good contender. Thank you. I'm already married. I would love to help Merab to find a Georgian wife. That was actually very funny. He was saying like in the US he's looking for a Georgian wife, but Georgians are marrying Americans, like Americans. Though he's American citizen too already. So I think ladies should try harder to get that man because I think he's good. The northeast India is very different from where you've been in north. Once visit northeast India, it's very different. You love it. You can search. Well, our Jain friends were in that area and they say it's spectacularly beautiful, but it's cold as well, which they like because they are in Mumbai most of the time and it's hot there pretty much all parts of the year. How's your boxing going? Right now having a vacation, so I'm definitely gonna get back to it. I'm saying that because it's true, but right now having a vacation in Saigon and just sleeping a lot, recovering a lot, while doing some grease the groove every now and then. I remember I told you the program of the grease the groove for strengths, where you just do an exercise, let's say pull-ups. You do like 50-60% out of your max. You should not achieve the muscle failure or muscle sore. Then you rest for like 30 minutes, hour, and you do that again. But it can be longer periods, as long as you do like with big gaps in between. You do that a few times a day. That can be considered as the grease the groove training, and that's what I'm doing. That's what we've been trying to do consistently, even if we're on vacation, and walking. That's basically it for now. Dragon Tattoo was the girl face. So it's kind of like the warrior Japanese, or mixed with it's technically the Chinese dragon, but it's the Japanese style, and katana. What are plans for Helen except dressing for a Black Widow? Nothing, just going out with my husband and some of our friends. Buivian gonna be full of all dressed up people, and it's quite a crazy party street. Except I don't drink, so I'm gonna have a sober bender. But yeah, that's it. And definitely gonna take some pictures for the memories. Before having some party a little bit or whatever it's called. I'm gonna live stream in a Black Widow costume. So again, I'm not a cosplay artist, nothing like that. But it's just I found an actual costume. I think that was from the earlier movies, the replica of her costume, and I think it's quite cool. I already booked it for those days. Left the deposit, so it's yeah. Stick around on the Halloween. So I will live stream with that costume. And Chris, he's like a bald and he's blondish, and we always joke about that. If he just shaves his beard and he gets the donut beard, he's like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Puts on the black like a black T-shirt with the swearing words, something like with the rebellion or any something like that. He can easily go for that as the Halloween costume, like a low key. Okay, I'll keep scrolling up, guys. I love Finland. Finland is great, I think, one of the great countries. What does your husband do? We both do our work remotely, like main work, and apart from that we do social networking, we work with people, we communicate with people. I'm doing personal trainings online for many years. He's working in the crypto now mostly, and he has some annuity set up from the past, like sold his company, and that's just like every monthly payment, so it's basically passive income coming in monthly as a security. So because we set up it that way from both sides, that let us travel and despite the time zone still be able to provide for ourselves. And as I said, for the costume, Black Widow and probably Stone Cold Steve Austin. Keep safe always. Thank you very much. You too, guys. Keep safe always. Are you currently in Georgia? No, back in Vietnam. You look Polish. Maybe. I look Slavic generally. I don't even look that much of Georgian, I would say. Maybe if I had black hair, if I dye my hair black, maybe, but I definitely inherited more of my mother's looks, which she's Slavic, she's half Russian, half Ukrainian, and maybe with some other mix that I'm not aware of. Pakistan north side is one of the most beautiful places to visit. You name it, Pakistan have it. You should consider visiting. Oh yeah, I'm fully aware. Some of my friends actually, the mountaineers, been on expeditions in Pakistan and in those Himalayan areas. They've been on no, not Everest, sorry, but they're actually willing to. That's like every mountaineer's dream. Georgia is quite Georgian. Some of the Georgian mountains, some of the like peaks, like mountain peaks, are quite tall. I think it gets up to almost 6,000 meters. So it's a good for experience and good for mountaineers to try to climb those. But it's nothing near as an Everest, for example, and that's what you guys have in your area. Hi, I'm from Morocco, and you speak English. Cool, and yes, I speak English. Your English is good, unlike Mirab and Ilya. I think Ilya's English is okay, but I don't blame the guy. He speaks like 5 languages or something. And Mirab, he's a sweetheart. His English got better. At least I can see a little accent changes because before he barely spoke, you know. So let's give the guy a credit. And I love how some of the athletes, they never spoke English, but then they started, like Canelo, and people love like Canelo is a villain when he speaks English, you know, like the stuff he's talking. So some people are like, some of the British are like, oh, we preferred him before he spoke English, but now he unlocked that. Yeah, Mirab is cool, but I worked on it. I like languages, I really do. That's one of my things, actually. And when I speak Georgian, I try to sound fully Georgian. When I speak Russian, I try to sound fully Russian. And when I speak English, I try to sound generic in English as well. That's great. Hope you can visit lots of beautiful countries together. That's your next destination. What's your next destination for travel? Thank you for those wishes. So far, staying around in Southeast Asia. Maybe we go to Thailand, but I'm looking more like about aspiring opportunities or even a fight opportunity, because in Thailand there is a bigger competition for in the female boxing, professional boxing. Other than that, not particular plans. We're considering Europe, considering certain Eastern Europe area with after those few months, but we will see how that goes. We're in the process of setting up certain stuff. Who do you think gonna win, Aspinall versus Cyril and Islam versus GDM? I go for Tom, absolutely, and Islam versus GDM to me is more closer, like 50-50, and can go either way. I like tattoos on your right hand, though it's my left hand, it's my left arm. I don't know why YouTube is reflecting it, but that's what it does. So just letting you know, it's very common when they show boxing, when we do boxing drills, I always remind people. So this is not my, I'm not the southpaw. This is the orthodox. This is the southpaw, and yeah, that complicates it a little bit, but it's not a big deal. You watch UFC? Who is your favorite? Well, of course, apart from Georgian fighters, Alex Pereira is one of my favorites at this point. I love Alexander Volkanovski, and I'm talking about like active fighters now. Those are like combination of the fighting and the personalities outside of the octagon. So just kind of like just loving the guys. I like Injiri Prohaska or Projaska. I'm not even sure how to pronounce his surname correctly. Even more like lately. So there are quite a lot of fighters that I like, and sometimes I like more and more because of their stories, because of their fighting styles, etc. Tom versus Gunn. Tom. Ilya is my favorite. Yeah, I can't blame you. Fair enough. Thank you for the compliments, guys. I'm not reading everything out loud because that's not the live stream. What it's about. Can you teach me some famous Russian phrases? I'm not going to teach you any swearing words or anything like that, because I think you already know that. Okay, so that's actually a quote. Поспешишь, людей насмешишь. It means if you rush, you're gonna make people laugh. Tom is overrated. Yes, like his 100% knockout rate. I mean, give a guy the credit. What do you think about Pantoja? Pantoja is great, and there were a lot of talks, Merab and Pantoja having fights, but maybe even in the catch weight. I would love to watch that one, but I don't know. I don't think neither of them planning to do that at this point, at least. Any language gets better when you're surrounded with people who speak it fluently, little conscious effort, and you can learn to speak multiple. Well, that's a very good point. With English, I learned it in 2020 during the pandemic. I did like my personalized course just by myself using YouTube, internet, science-based articles, travel videos, things that were bringing the interest in me and making me excited. So I used those as the materials to study. But like 3 months, I was literally aiming to increase my vocabulary. I was aiming for developing advanced vocabulary, and then practice. I got the offer in one of the studios that was working pretty much with the expat, and of course I said yes. And this was my first proper practice. Then I met my husband, then I met a lot of other foreigner friends, and then we're traveling. So English became like 24/7 language. And that's the thing. I try to maintain my Georgian and Russian so they don't get worse. Funny thing, I actually had a couple friends before I knew proper English. Like I barely could speak. So this one friend, we've been talking like I think a few months ago about that, and I was actually pointing it out that how in the world you could actually communicate with me. Like he knew that a little bit Russian and stuff, but he's like from UK. And it's like, how in the world you could even understand me and communicate with me? And he said, fair enough, you went from the Borat English to Michelle Obama English. It's like, that was one of the funniest things I've been told about my English. Tom Hamner faced competition like Merab, Ilya Pereira or Chimaev. Nobody knows who Tom is fighting. Well, that's a little issue with the current heavyweights. I would say both in boxing and UFC, but you cannot. It's not Tom's fault. Tom is definitely not a duck. He's facing whoever. Merab has one of the best portfolios, but it's always been like bantamweight, lightweight, and welterweight. Like those three divisions being probably the most full of the talent, especially the lightweight, and. Yeah, the hard competition. And yeah, currently somehow Merab has one of the strongest portfolios. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, some weight classes are more talent and talent dense. Some less. Some are, you know, not as strong. Like a middleweight, for example. Yes, you say Chimaev faced, and he did face, but like he has the strongest wrestling, arguably maybe ever in the UFC history. So the problem is, in the middleweight, you don't have that many. Well, Gilbert Burns gave him a good resistance on with his. Good BJJ, and like that's why it was like a back on the stance and then back on the ground type of fight. But yeah, the middleweight doesn't have other wrestlers, and like someone who is like has solid wrestling, at least to be able to defend Chimaev's wrestling, and then you know like better striking, for example. So that division is also a little bit question at this point. Why don't you like Colby? I didn't say that I don't like Colby. It's just if I talk about every MMA fighter and talking about why I like them or why I dislike them, that's gonna take quite a long time. Your favorite combo in MMA and boxing? Well, in MMA it depends. You know, it's like a good upper. Offense and then going for the good doing a solid takedown or like kicks. Also more like doing like I don't know, throwing fake jabs, or it doesn't matter, just distracting and doing more like random stuff like a spinning kick or then going with an elbow in. So making it more diverse and more entertaining, because you know with UFC it's easy to just go like, you know, and like low kick. Those are kind of like basics, and grappling, go for takedown. That's also a basic. But then we have other cool stuff that sometimes you see that and you're like, wow. So elbows, flying knees, spinning kicks, you know, some combinations, like finding a good timing for those. I think that can be considered to be one of my favorite type of combos. And in the boxing, it's basically, well, one I like is basically also getting in, out, for example, sleep, under, go uppercut. I like the shuffle. So when you do like the Mato shuffle or the Mato shift, like 1, 2, 3, sleep, shift, bum, bum, bum. Something like that. So I like combinations that are quite active on the footwork. Hello, ma'am, you watch MMA? Yes, I'm a little bit way behind the chat, so I'm gonna go faster. How many friends do you have? Actually, not that many. I speak 5 languages, that's cool. Islam versus GDM? I'm not sure about that one. I'll give it 50-50. I'm street fighter and I've been in prison. Can you beat me? No, I cannot beat you, especially if you're bigger, especially if you're a man. But the fact that the women in the martial arts had a successful situations where they defended themselves from robbery and stuff like that, at least single-handed robbery, because of the factor of unexpectancy and the professional skills. Yes, that happened. So that's not impossible, but you know, in the street, everything can happen. So it's the best thing is to avoid things. Avoid the fight, avoid the dangerous situation. What about jacuzzi? Jacuzzi. Well, Merab welcomes everyone into jacuzzi except Omar. Omar didn't deserve his jacuzzi. Jones versus Conor McGregor, different weight classes. I don't know what's the point of it. Alexei Chimaev in round 1 by a technical knockout. He can, first of all, Alex is bigger, and even for the light heavyweight, Alex is bigger. So, yeah, comparing to Chimaev, it's not going to be as easy as he's doing in the middleweight now. Well, I'm an amateur MMA fighter, flyweight. My record is 7-0. Give me some tips to achieve my goal, like to play in UFC. Well, you give me some tips. You have a very clean record and good. Just keep going. Keep evolving, keep working, have a sustainable, consistent baseline. You know, try not to get off the track. Don't get distracted. Keep getting better. Surround yourself. Try to reach out to. Good fighters, because some of them actually respond. You know, I don't know if you know the Paul Reed guy. He's known for being starting his career late, like at 35, and he fought up until he was 50 years old. He has some following. We're talking a little bit regarding MMA because he seems to be a very good guy. He's inspirational. He's inspiration to a lot of people. So try to reach out to the gyms and people, and try to end up in the community and in the MMA gyms where they're high class fighters. And yeah, just take that opportunity to work them. Very often, if you become a sparring partner for those people, they can recommend you. You know. It's at the end of the day, it's all about who you know, and it's all about connections and positive connections. So that's what I would recommend with your record, because it seems you're doing so far. You've been doing things right. Yeah, I'm keep scrolling up, guys. Welcome to Morocco. I think MMA is going backwards with the loss of strikers and proper fighters. At least it's not as... I mean, technically, fighters became more dangerous when it comes to the fighting, like IQ, and you cannot afford mistakes as much as it was before. Before it was not that clean. Fighters were not that, that polished, but they were more gladiators. They were more of the warriors. That's why we have Emelianenko Krokop fight, we have Takayama Donfry fight, we have unlimited time, like 90 minutes Sakuraba versus Gracie, and we have those kind of very interesting type of. We have I forgot the name of the Jackson or Johnson versus or Curtis. That was an old, almost like a black and white footage of the fight. Kickboxing was super entertaining to watch. So I agree that when it comes to the risking things that much, it went a little bit down, and maybe not as entertaining, but you can still talk about all the fights. There's still some fights that can go entertaining, that are quite a good exchanges, and that brings back some of the old fights. Give us some tips to glow like you. I'm sorry, my English is not that good, but works most of the time. No, it's pretty much good. Good lighting and the live streams. Right now I don't even have the best lighting, but like you see right now, Looks very good, right? So it's just a matter of good natural lighting. You can see my IG on the YouTube bio description, but I'm not very active on Instagram, okay? So I'm not really talking too much on the Instagram. Do you believe in God? I believe in the universe. I believe that there is something bigger, but like God as the human, like the something like a person, not that way. I think it's way more complex. Thanks for advice. I will work on it. Yeah, that's the only real advice I could give you, I'll be honest. Hello? Ilya versus Islam or Ilya versus Justin, what's your take? Which opponent sounds good to you and which weight they would... Well, Islam is definitely a harder opponent for Ilya. Ilya versus Justin, I think he would knock him out, but now it's Ilya versus Pimblet signed, I think, for Paramount. So what do you think about that one? I think Ilya humbles him. A lot of people say that Pimblet gonna do submission on Ilya, but I think that's gonna be the fight we might see Ilya's grappling. We might see more of the Ilya's grappling. So yeah, that might be the case. I'm Georgian, yes. Okay. Hi, good morning. How's your morning going so far, and how is your training going so far? Well, right now on vacation, but still doing brisk group, doing a lot of walking, staying clean on the diet. So I'm actually, since I came back from Georgia, I cut weight, and my goal is, because I want to aim for 51 / maybe even 48 kgs for pro boxing. I want to be somewhere, at least carry comfortably 53, 52 kilograms. So I think I'm 55, 54 now, and I gained up until, I think I was like 58, 50, 57, 58. It might not be a big deal, but for my size, it's like a couple or 5 kilograms actually make quite a big difference. So far, this is how it is till the end of this month. After the Halloween, going back to Nachang and going back to the proper training. I got Aspinall beating Gunn in the first round. With Aspinall, that's almost statistics, because he has the shortest time spent in the octagon of all time. Well, being an MMA fighter, sometimes something like oftenly we get distracted. How to not be distracted? Well, everyone's get distracted. Don't get me wrong. It's just more about put yourself in a good surroundings. Like the environment you have matters, because sometimes even if you get on the, I don't know, distracted, maybe a little bit too much partying, a good environment, good surroundings, good people, good friends gonna always tell you, no, you're not doing that. So they're gonna help you to stay on track. But also it's just matter of discipline and matter of the balance. There is nothing wrong with going with the friends out, but I personally don't drink alcohol for many reasons. I don't like the taste. And I decided I refuse to get used to it because of, everyone else did that at some point, and I left it as it is, So I might go out at night with friends and like me and my husband go out, but I don't drink. So that is already a big thing. That's the stuff I'm talking about. And when it comes to, if you're a man, when it comes to the girls, it's okay. You should date. You should meet women. You should practice communicating with the women. But at the same time, don't be stupid. Don't get someone to mess up your life and get control of it. Some women can be extremely controlling. Some women can set you up for a horrible stuff or the lawsuit. So be careful with those. Communicate with women, date, and all that kind of stuff. But don't let anyone closer unless it's a right time and you really want to create a family and there is an actual right woman, because also there are women who are willing to help you, be by your side, support you. There's nothing wrong with having that kind of partner. So just moderate, like be in balance. And it's hard to say that, do that, but this is, aren't we trying to find it, all of us? You like humble guys or trash talk in UFC? I like humble guys, but I like also the humble guys that carry aura. That's why I like Rose Namajunas. I like Fyodor Emelianenko in that, like with his presence. Prime Habib. There's certain things I disagree with him when he said after he retired and as the coach and stuff. But as a fighter, I think he was quite honorable and humble. I love Volkanovski. There is nothing wrong. I like Merab, so there is nothing wrong saying that I'm the best, especially if you're a champion or if you're like having the title defense and you're proving that. And there is nothing wrong with joking. I like when there is like Volkanovski is hilarious. If you have seen his skits about him being old and his like neighbor interaction, it was hilarious. One of the funniest things. Like I don't mind that. Or DC's the remake for the song Butter Bass. Like, oh my god, it's so funny. So I don't mind that kind of stuff, but like trash talk, like trying to get under the skin and stuff, I'm not really a fan of it. Though there are some people who pull it off better. There's some fighters that even if they do trash talk, even if that's not my favorite thing, that suits them that better. And it creates a better style for them than for some people. For some people, it just does not fit. I'll tell you, with Ankalaev, for example, I think he's a good, humble guy, but his manager, Ali, whatever that guy's surname, and he's manager of many of the fighters in the UFC. I think the post that, like the tweets, all that kind of stuff that's been written, some of it, by Ankalaev, that was not even his, and he probably wasn't even aware of, and it doesn't really suit him. Like trash talk. And when he tried to no chama, I killed it, like that kind of stuff. I don't know. Ankalaev seems to be a type that would really would carry well a quiet but very determined guy that would create a lot of mystery around him, that would really bring up his image, in my opinion. I feel bad for Ilya Topor. His girlfriend cheated on him and may know he become monster for UFC. I don't know. I just hope he doesn't go on the Conor McGregor's path. But I think they have a core difference, and this is like he has quite a big ego and he has quite a big goals and ambitions. He wants to be one of the best. So I think he's gonna stick around that. And I don't know about cheating. I know they divorced. It was his wife, I think, but. I don't know about her cheating or him cheating or what was the reason. Keep scrolling up, guys. Aspinall is much better than Gano. There is no comparison. I think Tom is one of the best in the division at this point. Poatan is best in the world and best in my heart. Like as I always say, apart from Georgian fighters, but I really love Chama. Sorry guys, no dating for me. I'm already married, but feel free to join the live streams and have talks about like we do now. Thanks for the advice and motivation. I'm glad that if that helped. Do you fight or what? I haven't a fighting experience in the boxing. I know how to spar. I know how to fight in the boxing, but now I'm looking forward to get on a higher, like a pro boxing level, so I can compete and open the record. Conor McGregor had elite trash talking. Yeah, Conor was one of the guys who was pulling it off very well, but you can say that it went a little bit too far. After he stopped, the problem with the trash talk, if you're super dominant and you trash talk and you're flamboyant and you keep dominating, you're like almost like you are at the peak of the mountain, right? And people love that. But once you start doing downfall, and he actually was quite humble. I don't remember him making excuses for his loss like some fighters do. But because he was so loud and flamboyant, like his first loss against Diaz. Yeah, and then Khabib, and then Poirier, and like it went down, and it would just also his lifestyle got exposed. That is kind of the risk with it. So I also would say that being humble and like taking that role is also safer long term, and it's more pragmatic, I would say. It's a pretty short but strong man. Yeah, I guess that's true. Poatan has so much aura. Yeah, he just has to say Chama, and the whole people, everyone is yelling Chama, Chama. So yeah, no doubt. Where do you live? Right now, me and my husband are in Saigon, and we're having sort of vacation, and then we're gonna go back to Nha Trang, the city where we spent most of our time out of the 10 months we've been in Vietnam before. And yeah, we're gonna get back to training and pretty much gonna leave there. Kamarjoba, am chattisis Google Svitane molto ceni sau brista accent stili, cens propose var dicentisak po Inglisot mi paso. Okay, so someone used Google to write thing in Georgian, and it's actually translated it correctly. Thank you very much. That's you like my talking style and explaining style. I appreciate it, and yeah, I'll respond. But I appreciate you trying to put it in Georgian. That's very sweet. I don't care if people don't like Conor. He was so much fun in his prime. I cannot disagree with that. Like he was one of the biggest show times, like the phenomena. So like he brought so much spotlight to UFC, and you cannot take that away from him. And I started watching UFC in the Conor McGregor / Ronda Rousey era when I was 15. I wish you win. Thanks. I mean, yeah, I would want to make it smart too, because like I would go with someone with the same record and experience level, or maybe a little bit higher, it doesn't matter, to build up a solid record and then gradually keep upgrading and obviously facing stronger opponents. But you don't want to start losing. You don't if it's your choice and if it's something you want to do, there are a lot of journeymen and they have their place, and like you shouldn't disrespect those people. They're journeymen in the boxing ecosystem, so-called. But I would want to actually go on the journey of evolution, evolving from the fight to fight. But also, again, if at this point fight, I don't know, someone on the Katie Taylor level, for example, and with her experience, I'm probably gonna lose, right? So in the beginning, you want to erase that possibility as much possible by having a fair match with someone who is having the similar or slightly more, slightly less experience. How to say I like you in Georgia? Momts onchar. There's just one word. You can say me, I, momts onchar, like you, but you can just say momts onchar. Khamzat Chimaev is the best fighter in the middleweight now. Yes, but he's also so much better wrestler than anyone. That's a problem of the middleweight class. There is no one who's going to match his wrestling, and as long as no one's going to match his wrestling, they're not going to be able to show their striking. That is the problem with middleweight at this point. John Jones had his share of negative stuff, but you can't take away from here, just like Conor. Exactly. I agree with that. I think Big Tom gets it done in a round, but Gunn could pose some problems. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's just the Tom's being super dominant, and he already carries that aura too. You know, when you have a guy who has 100% the knockout rate, and one who has the shortest time in the octagon of all the fighters, that is scary. Okay, so it's a lot of like the more you build that up to, apart from, and he keeps evolving, right? Like every good fighter, he keeps getting better and evolving, and it's harder to take the pace. So yeah, Gun kick, you can give him a problems, but that's why I would love to see Jon Jones, and even though they're not matching, like the prime Jon Jones and prime Aspinall would be something great to watch. Jones is not prime anymore, though Jones has one of the extraordinary fighting IQs. I think if Jones actually trains, he still can put, maybe the Aspinall could be the only hurdle for him, you know? He could still dominate the division apart from him. And that's why so many people wanted to see that fight and got frustrated. But hear me out. I think that they might do Aspinall Jones, because that will be clearing his name. He really wants to clear up his legacy and his record, all that, and actually show that he's not ducking anyone, and that was all for the show. That should happen. If he's really a duck and he's gonna prove that, then it's probably gonna be him with someone else on the card, like Alex, for example. So yeah, we shall see. Yeah, I already said about Tom versus Gunn. So it's in Georgian again. So you're from India and you love Georgians. You don't want me to get drunk. You want to see Georgian. It's absolutely fine. Georgia, well, Indians, there are quite a lot of Indians now in Georgia. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of Indians love Georgia as one of their destinations. So you should definitely visit it at some point. Jon doesn't have the power to hang with Tom for 25 minutes, just my opinion. I agree with that. As much as Jones might be the one that does not lose, but again, he's not at his prime, he's not as powerful, he's smaller, so the Aspinall has the height and the reach advantage. He's basically the combination of I don't know, like a machine. He's like a machine. He's just like the power. He's like a tank, and with the skill set. So, yeah, at this point, I would go Tom. But yeah, but that's the thing. You never know what. As I said, Jon has one of the biggest fighting, the best fighting IQs in the history of MMA. I think. Him and Demetrius Johnson. Okay, I'm all the way up in the chat. Someone says the draw between Gunn and Aspinall. Well, that would be a great achievement for Gunn. He would be the one who breaks his, that 100% knockout rate. Do you think Charles would have beaten Khabib if he did not had retired post-Gaethje win? Possibly. There are a lot of questions about Khabib. A lot of questions about, because as much as his wrestling is great in grappling, but that's the thing, Charles is also great at grappling. But Khabib's striking is not the best and never became the best in the division. So that could be, if he faced someone as strong grappler as he is, and slightly better striker or significantly better striker, like a lot of modern fighters and modern time fighters, he would struggle, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay then.
Tommy Islam will fight with Samzat in the future. Well, I don't know. Probably. Could be. But still, a big size difference. I mean, yes, Khamzat is middleweight, but he's also a little bit of a weight bull in his class. And we need to see if... we first need to see if Islam is comfortable in welterweight. So, I don't know. Don't use the ChatGPT for thumbnail. I actually could make my own thumbnails at this point. Sorry, I'm not that rich to actually at this point pay someone. When my channel grows bigger and the revenue is better, then I might consider that because that makes sense. But right now I'm making it myself. You look amazing, my friend. Good to see you again. I wouldn't want to box you. You look sharp. Thanks. I appreciate it. Georgia is not Dagestan. Georgia is here to counter Dagestanis. Well, we Georgians and Dagestanis definitely have a historical rivalry. Like as much as they can be friends, they have the rivalry too. So yeah, there is definitely a thing between Georgia and Dagestan. So it's like a Georgia and North Caucasus. That's how we call it. Might be unpopular opinion, but I think Tom beats him even in his prime. Way too much power, and power, one of the aspects that can determine the fight. Imagine, like Ilya does. It's not just getting hit. As a fighter, you get kind of used to it. You can, you use defense, whatever. You try to prevent it technique-wise. You swallow some punches, but when someone hits so hard that one is enough to just wreck you off, what can you do about it, right? So that is the good take. Khabib was dominant but retired too early, cannot be called the GOAT. Well, also looking at his record and the people he beat, if you compare other fighters like Wolf, Tom Aspinall, you take Topuria, Islam, like those dominant fighters, like their opponents' records, if you just summed it up, they have quite a lot of wins, like 200 something wins on the 100 and something wins. In Makhachev's case, it's way less. It's like less than 100, even less than 50, I think, total wins of all the 30 fights he had, because the first 15 people he fought basically didn't have even a record, or barely had any record. So yeah, there's like, as much as I have a respect to Khabib, I think the people overrated him number-wise, because number speaks opposite, and you try to claim one thing, but number speaks opposite. I'm 25 years old. You think Islam can beat Ilya? Yeah, he can, but Ilya also can. So to me, that's purely 50-50. It really depends how that goes. They both they're a little bit better in different aspects, but generally they both are super well-rounded fighters. Ilya with the super crazy power and the crazy boxing and solid wrestling in BJJ. Islam having a good upper stance technique, like a striking technique, but also maybe slightly stronger. I'm not sure, because we haven't seen much Ilya's wrestling and grappling, but he might be a little bit better on the ground. So we'll see how it goes. It easily could go draw, it easily could go split decision or something like that. But I still see, because of Ilya's power advantage, I think Ilya still would find that knockout. Yeah, I've been in India, and at some point, why not? Would visit more. Me and my husband travel together, so that's we'll probably visit together. Why Khabib didn't fight Tony? Was he afraid? Well, they called it a cursed bout, because Dana tried to do it 3 or 5 times, I don't remember exactly, throughout the many years. And at least 2 of those were once Tony had an injury, and once Khabib literally collapsed on the weigh-ins. So that's the thing, it's like it's different factors. It didn't happen essentially, unfortunately, and I think they just stopped trying doing it. But I don't think that Khabib necessarily was afraid. I just think it's just one of those things that wasn't meant to happen for some reason. Prime Tony or Khabib, realistically? still thinking Khabib, but Tony could give him a hard time in the stance. So I don't know if Khabib pushed on the wrestling and just like had a better control time, all that kind of stuff, and find the submission in that way. Striking wise, I think Tony could give him a hard time and maybe even win. Are you a boxer, MMA fighter? What's your record? I have an amateur record, like around less than 5 fights. Not less, 5 fights. And then I was retired and just kept training for myself. And now I'm looking to actually do a professional bout and open a professional record. So on professional record, I have 0, like nothing. I'm just showing my journey on the preparational period, but also like right now it's an off period, it's a vacation. It's been a little bit tough couple months, even though we were back in Georgia. It was again not perfect, so we decided to come back to Southeast Asia right now, just having a little vacation up until the end of the month, then getting back to Nha Trang and getting back to the solid training. And I would go flyweight or even lower minimal weight. I don't think is there an atom weight, but the kg wise it would be 51 or 48 kgs. The fight between Khabib and Tony was booked 5 times, but never happened. Yes. Okay. Thank you for confirming this. Scrolling up, guys. Opinion on Elias' separation with his wife. Might make him completely focus and put all of his anger and emotions on the octagon, which would be good. I don't think Elias is the guy who would let that situation to wreck him, but at the same time, not good. Like he seemed to be having a good like a family dynamic, kids. You know, that I think it always looks better. I always respect fighters who have good women by their side, good wives, and you know, they have children, they create things together, and you know, they support each other, and specifically their wives support them in the fight. So I don't know what's happened, but you just had a little kid and you divorced. Like that's the problem with it. When you already have children, I know that first child Hugo is not. There is someone else. The mother is someone else, but I'm just saying that okay, you have an actual wife and you have a daughter together, and you separate almost like very soon. We need to start taking those things seriously. We need to start taking marriage more serious, and not just because oh I love you and I'll marry you. No, okay, like we don't like consider the potential that we want to create life where we don't separate, especially when we have kids. We promise each other that we'll work things out. Obviously, there's something non-negotiable like violence and you know, domestic violence and having relationship with someone who is abusive. And I'm talking not about someone raising the voice or something. I'm talking about someone actually abusing or it's sometimes the both sides abuse their relationships where it's horrible that both parents are abusive and children see that is horrible. In that case, it's better to separate. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's very good that they separated. My name is Diana. Nick Diaz can beat all those fools. Nick Diaz, do you think Nick Diaz was robbed of his prime? The stupid suspension for how many years? Like he was 2 or 5 years. They gave him very long suspension for the marijuana. And a lot of fighters at that period spoke up that, come on, that was unfair. And yeah, that I think he could show us so much more, if not that. Tony Ferguson was too destructive for Khabib. That's a good point. Again, that's why I'm like, I'm not so sure about that one. We're also talking about Tony, about prime. Like now he had like a 10 loss streak, and now he finally had some boxing match win, which a lot of people were happy, but the guy is full on CTE, and that's so sad. But prime Tony, yeah, he was surreal. what your husband do. Same as me, he has a remote income. He's doing some crypto and he has some annuity set up, like a monthly income. And well, that's what lets us travel around. I also do YouTube, and we do some other stuff as well. But it's more like a project, and we can do things on our free time. Are you American? No, I'm Georgian from Tbilisi. I'm Georgian, same as Merab or Ilya, and well, you name it. You name other Georgians that you know. Never meet your wife in Miami. I mean, I don't want to be very, but yeah, it matters a little bit what is a person's lifestyle and where they come from. Is it's like certain, they're from the place where everyone behaves a certain way and it's like a normal trend. Like, I think the best women, same as best men, are simple people in the way that they have interests, they ask questions, but they are not like they have a balance between, you know, standing their ground but also being compromising. Those you can negotiate with this type of people, and yeah, that's why when they say that, oh, just go somewhere to, not a village necessarily, but some areas where the woman still can be educated and knowledgeable about things, but at the same time she's not living the lifestyle like too luxury, too flamboyant, too how to say that, too, I forgot the word. I forgot one word in English, and like kind of too free behaving and that kind of stuff. You can see the patterns, and a lot of people just refuse to look at it, especially men. Men sometimes see a woman and they're like, oh, she's the most beautiful thing I saw, I want to marry her. There are some men like do that, but that's not that's almost like you're doing a lottery and hoping that you're gonna win. Let's help to grow her channel, like the live. Thanks very much. I appreciate it, guys. No, I never been to Saudi Arabia. Jones versus Race, who really won? To me, Jones 3-4 and fifth round, the series round was super close, but John won it also. Many people thought the Race won because he made a good start. Well, he made it look very close, and at some point I thought the Race won, but then I rewatched, so it was very close fight. But because the Jones was a champion, even if he would lose like slightly, even if that was draw, they could give it to him. You know how it works in the UFC. But I haven't seen that fight in so many times. Like, I would have to rewatch it again to actually give a fresh take on it. Yeah, all I remember, it was a very close fight, very active from both sides. Jones was maybe one of the most hesitant performances of his. Like, he was not risking at all because he was getting good counters from Race, and I remember it as a very close fight. Jiri Projaska is underrated as hell, entertaining as hell. I don't think so. Not lately. He's gaining popularity, especially now his comeback, his win against the Roundtree, and what a win. Like, he was losing 2 rounds and boom, he's like, okay, now I'm gonna kill that guy. The guy's a warrior, like, and he lives like that. He has his mentality, he has his like samurai like lifestyle, and it's very cool. So I don't think, at least in my feed, at least through Georgians, a lot of Georgian people love Jiri Projaska, so I don't think he's that underrated. His only problem is Shama, and we'll see, it might be a third time, but with his open hand style, that's non-negotiable. He's gonna get knocked out third time. He needs to start making changes in his style. It's also the way he does it. Like, I don't want that guy to get the CTE. I don't want that guy to get a brain damage, and unfortunately, he's swallowing way too many punches. Hi, first time in your channel. Thank God I found this channel. I'm planning to go to Vietnam this December. I just want to ask, what's the best coffee place in Saigon? Everywhere, like literally everywhere. Like it's everywhere. I cannot recommend you a single place specifically. You can try Starbucks, but with a real coffee, a real Vietnamese coffee, like Highlands. They're chains like Highlands and Phuoc Long, but everywhere you can get the good Vietnamese coffee. So yeah, everywhere in Vietnam, not only in Saigon. There's a lot of junk out there. This lady genuine in what she does. Like the life, everyone. Thanks, I appreciate it. You're lucky. Your husband is lucky to have a great partner. Be happy always. Thank you. Well, I'm lucky too because he's my rock and he's the biggest supporter. And as much as he's a leader and masculine, and he's we have our roles, like a feminine and masculine roles. He is, as much as he's supportive of my boxing career and the things I do, he's so proud of my talents, and he never diminishes. He would never diminish me as okay, you're a woman, just do this. And we're looking when we have kids, he is also willing. We both want to be home-staying parents, if you know what I mean. So we want to set up things the way that we have a basic revenue, that we don't have to. We can rather work from home or something and spend pretty much all the time with our kids. So he's amazing man, and I love him so much. And he's still not awake because otherwise he would be in this chat. You love Modi. Modi is like a Georgian come to me, like a Modi. Murab is over fighting 4 fights a year is risky. It is risky. It's cool. But I think he still wins against Yan. But then he needs to maybe be. I think his team's gonna manage. But Murab is something else. He already is proving that he's a little bit something else. And as much he's like everyone else when it comes to injuries, and he's a human being in there. But his mentality, he doesn't have a turn off. I think he's super positive and super focused pretty much all the time, and his cardio helps him a lot. I'll tell you that. I'm also currently in a fitness program, part cardio, part MMA. I'm looking forward to know any nearby MMA gyms around Saigon. I'm not sure. I think there is Saigon Sports something. I just suggest you to rather ask AI or just Google, and it's going to show you all the best options, because we just usually spend shorter periods in Saigon. I could give recommendations in the Chang, but not Saigon. So I just recommend you to Google it. Okay, I'm timing out someone here because I already said, guys, please don't spam. Can't say anything about diet. Oh, okay, that's a good question. First of all, when it comes to weight loss or weight gain, it's calories in, calories out. That's one of the main factors. There might be some water retention, some other stuff, but when it comes to calories, burning energy or taking energy, it's calories in, calories out, right? And we have the primary energy source for our bodies is the glucose and glycogen, sugars, the carbohydrates, so-called, that just then transfer to the glucose, and it breaks down to the glucose, and then the body preserves it as a glycogen. And then when that kind of wears off, that's what happens on keto at least, then it switches to the active fat burning. But what happens in reality is when you have a calorie deficit and you still have all your nutrition that your body requires for the healthy functioning, both macro and micros, It takes a little bit from there. It obviously burns carbs first, but then the fat burning process still happens. So as long as you have a calorie deficit above from your maintenance, you're gonna lose weight. But if you want to maintain muscle mass, you need to make sure that you have enough protein. If you just want to make sure your body metabolism and functioning is correct, you need to make sure that all other macros and micronutrients are also in order. That's why I always recommend to do calorie tracking through the app. I use personal chronometer, and I don't have anything to do with them. I just use it. That's why I'm sharing it. And this is it has a pro version, but the free version still has quite a detailed breakdown on the vitamins, minerals, on the aminos, on obviously general the protein, carbohydrate, and fat intake. Shows you the sodium levels, all that kind of stuff. So you log it in. You also can save your own products. Let's say if there is you can. You can take the picture of the code, and sometimes you have some foods that are in the database, sometimes not, but you can edit your own. Like you can, if you're in Southeast Asia, there's some product that is not in the database, you can create a new one and edit, and so it's easy to calculate calories, but also it shows your nutrition, and it's a good way to stick around. Obviously you help with the supplements, like some multivitamins and stuff like that, and some other essential supplements, and you're pretty much good. But as I said, if you want to gain weight or lose weight, it's rather calories in or calories out. That's the main factor. To say anything in English, we're gonna believe. I'm gonna try. If I'm wrong on something, please say that. In Georgian, I'm asking God, you and your husband and your family are always happy and strong. God bless you. Thank you very much, and I wish I have the same wishes to you too. Jones is the pathetic disgrace to the sport. He's not even in the GOAT convo. Well, this is more like a little bit emotional talk, and I understand a lot of fans. A lot of not only Jones fans but the sport fans were super frustrated. One of the most frustrating things was Jones basically ducking and then retiring from the sport, and finally not even fighting, not even in that thing with Tom. I understand that, but still, let's be a little bit objective, and don't take it. He is not flawless. He had the drug test failures, he had the certain things, but the guy has one of the best fighting IQs out there. Still, even comparing to the active fighters, he had 17 title defenses, which is quite big. One of the biggest. It's just more maybe, arguably, it's the last few years when he's been doing it once a year, or was it one period? It was once in 3 years. But it's not only him; there are other fighters who do that too. So, as much as he has his negatives, there are certain things that he's the best in, and he was the best in. With a hot take on Vietnamese versus Thai MMA gyms. Well, I haven't been in Thailand, unfortunately, but not yet. But what I've been seeing, obviously Thailand has a stronger fighting culture. But the gym I'm going in Chang, for example, those guys, they are, the owner is actually Ukrainian, and there are some Russians, there's some Vietnamese. It's quite a mixed gym. And it has the Thailand gym vibe, and same open area, but I still would say that Thailand probably has a bigger competition, bigger culture of it. In Vietnam, it's generic MMA gyms, if you know what I mean. Have a good day. Well, I'm going to MMA gym to train because I have a fight on December. Pray for me. Praying for you. Wish you the best of luck, okay? Go get that 8-0 streak. I didn't want to, but I had to go to work. Goodbye. Thank you very much. Goodbye to you too. And yeah, have a good day at work. I'm barely halfway through my smoothie and I've been here for hour and 40 minutes now. Sorry, that was a little issue with the connection. Okay, where are you from? Which country? Motorcycle, quite loud. I'm from Georgia. I'm from Georgia, the country. Specifically from Tbilisi. Maybe you got the point. Thais really got the iron she's looking forward to enrich myself more into MMA-led culture. Yeah, I mean, you will enjoy it. And I don't diminish MMA communities here. I never tried it in Saigon, in Nha Trang. It's a great gym. There are two major gyms, Silverback and Nha Trang Sports Unite, and both are great. And both have like a few branches around the city. And in Saigon, it's an even bigger scene. So I do believe they might have a good school, you know, so you can train and you can prepare and potentially do some competing. Okay, so anyways, the chat slowed down a little bit, which is fine. I'm gonna take my time and drink my smoothie. Okay, I have a question now for MMA lovers. What do you think about Ilya versus Paddy Pimblett? What do you think about that fight? Because it got signed. I think it got signed officially for Paramount. What do you think about that? Let me see, maybe I just need to switch chats because sometimes the chat can slow down because of the... Okay, well, so far I think Ilya's gonna knock him out. That's what I think, and I'll be honest, I want to get humbled a little bit. Hello, beautiful lady. Nice to meet you. You're from Olongapo City, Philippines. Hi, nice to meet you. I've been in the Philippines, but not in Olongapo, but in Manila. I mean, that's like a biggest destination, and it was interesting. What about jacuzzi? You gotta read that in Merab's voice. Online streaming work available for girls, weekly payment available. I didn't say, I don't think I took any sense out of it. Is the Ilya national hero in Georgia or something? Both Merab and Ilya, I think everyone knows who they are. And well, Ilya was just recently in Georgia actually, and people were joking that his wife was not letting him go to. And once they got divorced, he all of a sudden came back to Georgia, visited his family, you know, met people and fans and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, could be. You can call it that. People are very proud of both. If you could choose UFC or one championship, oh, well, UFC has better drug testing, which I don't think one championship has at all. So that it might be more entertaining in some ways, but it's also people are juiced up there. At the same time, what one championship has, and it's very interesting, is that they have a hydration test, and this is something that UFC should add up. Hydration tests are super important for the athletes' health. So regarding watching, right now I'm watching way more of the UFC than I'm following one championship on the social medias, and I follow up on their highlights and kind of what's going on there. But yeah, I haven't been watching it as much as UFC for sure. But I think I should start because that's a second biggest, and it's like more based in Asia. So it's the second biggest organization, and it seems that it's having some of the big talents there. So yeah, I guess I need to watch more of it. Highlighted, which country are you from? And you have a beautiful hair. Thanks. I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi. Ilya Topuria solos entire heavyweight division, no debate. Well, a lot of Georgians have that take there, like, Ilya can destroy everyone. And it's like, well, calm down. That doesn't work exactly that way. Weight classes exist for a reason. But I appreciate your enthusiasm. Beautiful. Elaborate hats, I appreciate it. Thanks. Why don't you like jacuzzi? I wasn't there. That's what Omar says. Everyone loves jacuzzi. As I said also, Merab welcomes everyone to his jacuzzi except Omar. Omar is not welcomed in his jacuzzi. Where are you from? Georgia, the country, and I'm not gonna get tired of saying that. Apologies if my age is showing grew up on watching Bas Rutten since the Bas Rutten era. I'm less updated on the MMA scene. I just wondering if there are any championships that have the same passion and hustle. Yeah, definitely there are some prominent, very interesting fighters. You just check. You can even check current UFC, especially the all divisions, but like bantamweight, lightweight, and the welterweight are the most interesting at this point. And Bas Rutten is one of my favorites, pioneers. Like it's and to me that is a history. I'm too young to be able to have been able to witness it with my own eyes, right? But Bas Rutten is one of my favorite pioneer fighters. How can we fight in one championship? Please explain. Well, I don't know. I cannot tell you that one. What I would suggest is try to go to MMA gyms, get to know someone who actually maybe had an experience or knows someone, and or is looking forward to aiming there, and talk to them. I'm gonna make a movie on Jump with Jacuzzi. Well, good luck with that one. I think it should be a comedy. Tattoos? Yes, I have some tattoos. I have some others too, but this is what you can see right now. There's the bug on the umbrella behind. It's fine. There are bugs everywhere. There are lizards everywhere. And there's cockroaches everywhere. And there are rats everywhere. It's not like they're bothering you. They try to hide as much as they can, but occasionally you can see them. Hi, Pakistan. Ilya Topuria for several all division champion by 2028. What's your age? I'm 25 years old. Did you plan to come to MMA in India, Goa for MMA practice? Not specifically. I've been in Goa, but we've been just traveling in India in 2024 and visited Goa for a few days. It was nice, but is there a good MMA scene there? Glad that you share the same sentiments on Basrudin. Such a shame that the heavyweight division nowadays lack any spice or drama like back then. Yeah. Also, I saw, actually my husband Chris saw it, and he was like, because well, he's quite older than me, so he that was also like he was a teenager or kid in the period when he was like, you know, Yemelyanenko and Krakow, and they like before that, like Donfry, Basrudin. So I think there was a poster about the Yemelyanenko and Krakow having a fight, but I didn't do a fact check, and I'm not sure about that one. So can you just check it if it's actually could be possibly true or not? Yes, they both are 48 or 49 or like 51 in that range, but God, that would be so interesting to watch, even at that age. Also considering that they're in the same age, it's the same generation. What domains did you train in throughout? Boxing isn't the primary, but I started from karate, Goju karate, and throughout when I've been active and then non-active, I still trained BJJ for some time, like a few months. And we would gather with friends, and a lot of them were MMA athletes, and you know, some wrestlers, some boxers, and we just train together and share. So I remember sometime I was doing a little bit freestyle wrestling. The guys were teaching me. Then we were doing more kickboxing, but like nothing heavy, not the heavy sparrings or anything like that, just the learning technique and that kind of stuff, etc., etc. You know. So that's kind of how I'm familiar with a lot, because I tried quite a lot of those things, but on the like your solid level, the one thing I practice is boxing. Hello? The bug's waving hi. Hi, bug. Yeah, India is not really known for MMA, even in Asia, I think. Are you Georgian? Yes. How can one come in Georgia for MMA practice? Because Georgia has 2 champions. Actually, there was an Instagram that was promoted. I don't remember the name, but the Georgian wrestlers created a camp, and they were like, yeah, you can come to the camp. And I think some foreigners been there. Obviously, you pay some fee, and but you go for a full-time camp. But also they show you around the Georgia, around Tbilisi. So it's quite interesting. But just come to Georgia. Just maybe beforehand contact some gyms. Research about the gyms. There are some MMA gyms. Trust me, you'll find those. And just talk to them, like, if I come to Georgia, what's the membership, like what is, like, I want to get prepare professionally, what will be like classes, this and that. And then you show up, you start training, and then when people get to know you better, then they kind of develop more interest in you, especially if they see that you have some talent, especially if you see that you're hardworking. This is kind of how it works. I love Georgia. I may want to train wrestling and Muay Thai in your country. I would still suggest to go train Muay Thai in Thailand, but wrestling, absolutely one of the best places you can train. Okay, someone says in Russian, you are fire. Which gym are you practicing MMA? In Nachang, it's not in Saigon. So back in Nachang, it's called Nachang Sport Unite. Hope so too. Just imagine both Emelianenko and Rutan going toe-to-toe at the age of 60. Heck, that will be a talk of the town. Yeah, that will be alleged pensioner bout, but no disrespect. It's like, you know. But yeah, I mean, now more and more older fighters coming back to, you know, and have a fight every now and then. So that's quite inspirational in some ways. Do you know about a YouTuber called Active Danny? Maybe you guys should do a collab. I don't know, but I'll look it up. And I don't know, maybe. I'm just right now. I'm just still keep growing my channel, and I'm doing live streaming a lot lately. Not lately, pretty much for a few months now. So I think there's going to be more people willing to do collaboration when my channel is actually bigger. So you guys can help me with that, and just, you know, check the channel. If you like it, you can always like and subscribe. But I don't usually don't like say that, because that sounds like it can get annoying. But that really helps to grow the channel. Hello from Suriname. Elite Tapuri and Merab, top 2 UFC fighter. I know, yes, those two are the biggest. There are some upcoming ones, especially from the Merab side. I think he's helping a lot of fighters to actually get signed in UFC, so we'll see. Other fighters, Giga Chikaze, he was actually first UFC fighter, Georgian UFC fighter. He was good, but he was a little bit of having unluck with the injuries, and he's comes from the Goju karate, the one that I practiced before boxing, and kickboxing background, and not that much of the wrestling. But you know, I think he's still signed. You know, Guram Kutateladze, but well, unfortunately, Guram is not the UFC level, and unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Now I think he's fighting somewhere else in some Russian organization or something. And there is Roman Dolidze. I think Roman Dolidze is doing the best after, like, Georgian speaking, like amongst the Georgian fighters in UFC. After Ilya and Merab, I think Roman is doing okay. I'm not sure if I think he's in top 15 in the. I think he's in the middleweight. Georgia has a population of 3 million and produced 2 of the best fighters ever. Pretty amazing. Yeah, it is pretty amazing. What's your Instagram ID? Well, you can check it up in my YouTube bio, but letting you know, I'm not responding to random messages. I'm quite private and locked up on the Instagram. Yes, I see your messages, and I'm trying to stick to English in this chat. Yeah, just letting you know also, I'm married, so I appreciate all the compliments, but don't get too flirty. Also, Mike Tyson should probably venture into MMA scene. The man still got that heart of lion. Well, yeah, it definitely wasn't shown on the ring, because like he could destroy Paul. I can guarantee you. And every Tommy Jeffries was doing an analysis on it. He said like he could knock him out, but it was just a rigged fight. But why? I just wish Tyson's one of my all-time favorite boxers, and I just wish the guy. I'm very happy that he's healthy, that he's still strong at his age, and I just want him to live his best life now. It would be cool if he gets more on the coaching scene, you know, and like raising new generation. That could be like after you retire as a fighter, you can always extend and become a great coach, or maybe even greater than you were a fighter. And imagine when you raise generation and many young kids, you give them a chance to become great. So I think this is what a lot of fighters can aim for. His next fight is at welterweight. Yes, that's true, with GDM, which is upcoming this Saturday. No, sorry, not this Saturday. It's next event. The Saturday it's Aspinall versus Gunn, and Jandarova versus Dern, and Umar Nurmagomedov versus the Bautista. What do you can say about Arman Tsarukyan? Way too much talk. He's a strong fighter, no doubt. He's strong fighter, no doubt. But way too much talking. He hadn't been active for more than a year now, and almost like a year and a half, talking shit about the other fighters. And in the meantime, having a back injury and literal bailing on the rematch with the Islam in the last day. And Dana White never said anything about the emergency injury or something serious. Like he said that he didn't make a weight, so that's super irresponsible. So, well, I mean, he's fighting. Is he fighting Hooker now? I think he's fighting Hooker, and he's probably gonna win. And after that, he's probably gonna get the title shot with Ilya. But I. Really looking forward. I'll be honest, Tsarukyan is not easy. It's going to be maybe harder than like Charles, for example, for Ilya. But I wouldn't mind Ilya knocking him out. Like personality-wise, not my best, not my favorite fighter at all. Your English really good. Thank you very much. How would you beat Ilya Arturo Tapturo? Well, you need to have equally strong striking, but on the longer distance, and ideally you would have a longer reach. Yeah, that's just so every time he comes in, you're like boom, boom, like not just a clumsy straight, but like super, like a Roy Jones style boxing, like with the long reach, that kind of stuff. Like someone with the equally strong striking, but on the accent of the long distance work. Islam versus Hamzat will be a legendary fight. Someone said it would be a hugging match. We shall see. I really hope that Islam would try to bring it up on the stands a little bit more too. But it seems like it would be a legendary wrestling and grappling match, I think. What's your first language? My first language is actually Russian. Because my mom is she's Slavic, she's from Crimea. At that point it was Ukraine, and my father also knows Russian, so they married, and before she knew any Georgian, that was like a primarily communicating language. So I learned Russian first, but then very soon I learned Georgian, because they put me in the Georgian kindergarten school, so I learned Georgian fluently after some time. And then English is quite recent, which was in the 2020 during pandemic. I knew barely any English before, like I could kind of, if you stopped me in the street, I could give you direction where to go, but that was basically it. And then I learned it properly in 2020, and I speak English since. Okay, someone's being very flirty in the chat, and as much as like I don't want to time out people or hide them from the channel like too often, I encourage you to stop and focus on the topic. If you're here, if you want to talk a little bit about MMA, go ahead. I'm an international champion in wrestling. I'm desiring to participate in the Olympics, and I wish you the best of luck. I mean, you know that you gotta make in your if you're a national champion already, you should get the license through the competitions, and you probably wouldn't have a problem. You would be like one of the first contenders to be taken from your country to the Olympics. So I wish you the best of luck. Are you look like Dakota PFL champion? You're saying I look like Dakota. Dakota is maybe one of the biggest upcoming stars now. Like she's super cool. She seems like a great personality and actually quite good looks. So I don't know if I look like I don't look like Dakota, but if I like her, if that was a question, yes, I do. I absolutely love her. Jandirova is a looker. She looks everywhere. Okay, don't bully. Like, I mean, that's something that she can out of her control, right? It's funny, but yeah, it is what it is. She's a strong grappler, though, so I think Dern Jandirova are gonna be grappling mostly. What's your diet? Do you look like peak training? I just follow my nutrition. I do active logging on the chronometer, so I calculate my calories, but also watch the nutrition that I need. So I eat enough meat, I eat enough greens, I eat vegetables, fruits, this and that. But I always change my diet. So it's not about what specifically I eat, but it's about when I log it, and I'm making sure that I get the right nutrition into my system. I agree in the comment with Mike Tyson. It's just last time we saw the man pulling off some howitzer type haymakers, and the hooks was in IP Man Part 3. Yes. That was one of the best staged fights, like you can see cinematic staged fights ever. Thank you very much for wishing the best of luck. We're right now in Saigon, but it's more like a vacation. We're gonna go to Nha Trang, where we used to live for 10 months. This year, and I'm gonna go back there. I'm from Georgia, the country. I like your energy. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm still not done with my smoothie, which says a lot about how much I talk. What's your thoughts on Edwards and Pratis? I haven't been following neither of those enough to give you a proper answer, so I would need to look into it. Yes, I right now I'm in Saigon together with my husband. I'm definitely not saying exactly where I'm living. That's not how it's done. And yeah, so far here, but then going back to Nha Trang. Still rooting for the conclusion for Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield, where Evander squares it out with Iron Mike. Yeah, I mean, should he bite his ear too? I think Tyson actually went to Holyfield personally and apologized on that one. But actually, fun fact, I don't remember what was the person or a company, but they made the brilliant things, and within a week they made millions of dollars in US. So what they did, they made it, and it was like a chocolate or candy company or something. They made a chocolate, the ear-shaped chocolate, and you had to bite it off after the Tyson Holyfield thing happened. So they made so much money on that trend. It's quite interesting. Bunch of weirdos in chat. Well, some, but not that many. A lot of people are actually asking about MMA and pretty much about the MMA and UFC. What are you drinking? It's the mango smoothie. Merab versus Topuria at lightweight, who wins? I would go for Ilya, unless Merab, because like he's devastating punches. Merab definitely would swallow those, and in that case, I don't think he would go for too long. But if Merab somehow would tire off Ilya, which has quite a good cardio too, but obviously Merab is way ahead on that one, then could go decision, but most still Ilya knocking out, because I don't think people understand how hard he punches and how accurately and how in a sneaky way he set up that distance. Like he does that very, very well. He's not just wasting his energy and like, oh, if it lands, let's. No, he does it and pretty much lands all the time. How old are you? I'm 25. You're a native speaker with your English. Why your English is so fluent? It's my third language. Definitely not a native speaker. Learned it 5 years ago, but then I got the job offer that I had a practice with my clients, and now I do online personal trainings mostly from people from US and Europe, and we do that in English. Then I met my husband, and now it's like a full-time English, and it just keeps getting better and better because I'm surrounded with the people who speak fluent English. Wish you nothing but the best in your life and career. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you. You ever get arrested, miss? No, never. Wish you happy and healthy. I appreciate it. Thank you. Which one is better for shin conditioning, kicking sandbags or using a stick? I can't tell you that exactly because my shins are very soft. I'm a boxer, right? So like I don't train that. But one of the reasons, like I hate shin training. I did that in karate and it hurts as hell. Obviously, it's a matter of getting used to it and all that kind of stuff. But I guess, yes, both work. I guess both gonna work. My God, such a time to be alive. Companies were willing to sponsor that fiasco of a fight. I mean, yeah. Totally agree with you. Leah is the future of MMA. Yeah, as long as he keeps doing what he's doing and he keeps evolving. But let's give Merab the credit for maybe one of the best, one of the best upgrade from fight to fight. Like even if you look at him in the beginning of the year, like the guy is crazy. Like he's like from objectively boring style, like a lot of people say, and like I don't blame them for saying that, like in wrestling focus and just, you know, too much pressure, not that much clean technique. He actually went to the point that he almost knocked out Corey Sandhagen, that is a pure striker. And his wrestling is way cleaner and way more beautiful. So his striking is way better and way more on point. I think he even got some tips from Ilya. You never know. But let's give Merab the credit for, at that age, still getting better and better from the fight to fight, like significantly, not just a little bit. That's why no one can do anything, because they learn, they study Merab from previous fights, and then he comes back and he's way ahead of his own self. Does too much UFC questions bother you? No, not at all. I rather talk about that than, you know, how pretty I am. And thanks for all the good wishes and compliments. I don't downgrade that, but I'm not here to focus on looks and stuff, okay, and get the internet validation. So I rather talk. Let's keep talking about the MMA, UFC, boxing. Are you a fighter? Boxer, and I'm just when it comes to the UFC and MMA, I'm an enthusiast. Here is my muscular woman. Muscular woman. I think I lost it a little bit, but my forearms are, when I start training, my forearms getting quite defined. LA calls himself as El Matador, but fights like a bull. Yeah, I mean, but I think at some point he was El Legenda or something like that, and it was like, that was okay. I'm sorry, but that was cringe, and I think a lot of Georgians were like, El Matador was better. Come on, and we all are glad that he changed it back. So it shit happens. It's fine. But where are you from? I'm from Georgia, same country as Ilya and Merab. That's one where a lot of people ask me about that, and I talk about that. I'm not an MMA fighter, but more of a boxer. Appreciate from India, thanks. That's some sleek tattoo on your arm. Yeah, thank you. So it's a dragon, a female, like a warrior female profile face, and this is bloody katana. My tattoo artist thought that that was a good idea, and I agree with him. It's quite a sleek tattoo. Thanks. The tattoo is looking good on you. Aggressive and high spirit confidence. Like, yeah, it seems like it's a warrior tattoo, but at the same time, I think it's quite softly made. It's like, you know, there are no deep, no strong contours. It's very, you know, wavy and very interestingly transited. So I think it's at the same time, it's strong, but it's quite feminine. I don't know. That's my take. I never tried to be like, you know, look too masculine with my tattoos or anything like that. What are you talking about in UFC? Is she trying to be in the UFC? Maybe replace Nina Drama. Well, I'm joking. She's cute. I like her. But I don't know. I actually started talking about UFC because people started bringing it up. I would just say that I'm from Georgia. While doing boxing or something, and then I said same country as Mirab and Ilya because a lot of people relate to that and remember, oh, that Georgia. And then this is how it started. People just started asking me, and I've been watching UFC, and I started watching even more and, you know, researching even more since I started live streaming, and they became like a major topic. So I don't talk about things out of my ass. And basically, yeah, that's how it ended up to be. Hi, the República Dominicana. Mirab is a great mention. Dude's got cardio for days. Mirab's cardio is just another level when he fights against Omar. Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like all the people he fought, they're strong. They are strong fighters, but he made them look like amateurs because his stamina endurance level is on another level. Like no matter how great of the fighter you are, if you get tired in the relatively soon at a certain pace, you lose your efficiency, right? That's what Mirab does to his opponents. What's next for the UFC? A surprise Dana White and versus Khabib on Christmas Day vacation. Well, next for UFC is this newly signed contract for the Paramount, like $1 billion contract, where that's going to result into a bigger publicity. It's going to result in the hopefully higher salaries for the fighters and a lot of other interesting stuff. So yeah, let's see. I think it starts from next year. Rap is not even that good. He just doesn't talk. Well, I agree. He wasn't that good, but you gotta give him a credit. This year, comparing to the beginning of the year to the point of like the fight with Saigon, you should be biased if you say that Merab did not grow with his technique. He's still not the cleanest and the best technique in the world. That's not his strongest side necessarily. But it's about combination, what makes you a great and dominant fighter, right? And a champion. It's your attitude, it's your physicality, endurance, it's your technique. And technique-wise, I think he's been evolving quite significantly. Even his opponents been saying that they've been quite shocked how fast and how unpredicted his evolvement is. Can you flex? Yeah. If I do this, actually, like if I pop my back, I have quite wide shoulders. Can keep scrolling up, guys. Learning MMA could suggest me some boxing combos. Well, first you gotta learn how to jab, 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 you know, and it's like, I'll do that better once I'm back. In the meantime, you can rewatch some of my older live streams with like boxing basics and that kind of stuff. But I'll do that when I'm back in the chance. And just gradually, start with this, then 1-2 combo. So like 1-2, you need to learn how to throw those 2 straight punches. This is like a baseline, and then once you get through basics, I think it's good to just be easy on the footwork, do the shifts, cut the angles, and always throw punches from different angles, double, sometimes, like be improvised, you know, that's the best way you can do. Obviously you add some sleeps, the weaves, the fans, and all that kind of stuff. And that's, I'm showing you that while I'm sitting on the couch. So yeah, stick around and I promise I'll do the live streams. From the beginning of November, I'll do live streams in the Trunk Sport Unite and show you the actual combinations. Are you natural red? No. Have you ever choked out somebody? Yes, I did. Once it was by request, and it was like, because it's not big deal. It's never do that. Never do that too, because you need to know someone if there is a hair, any epilepsy or any like issues, you know. When it comes to if you do the BJJ, that's all bit another story. But even there, you know, you never know. So be careful with that. But I'll just show you the technique. So it doesn't take too much power. If you do a rear naked choke, that's what you do. You're not trying to pull it towards you. What you do is you close up your elbow and then you push on the head, and that's it. This is just it closes up the space, and that's how it works. And you do it. Don't do it like, never do it like this, because that can possibly damage or strain the opponent's neck, or someone's who you do that to. So don't play with that. More like usually if it's a wrestling, if it's a BJJ, they're gonna resist, right? But if you already got them clean, they're also gonna tap probably before getting choked up. That's not that common when people literally refuse to give up and they get choked up. But if you got someone clean and they're not tapping, this is how it goes. And once they relax, you just let them go, put them on the side, and they're gonna come back within because it's basically closing the artery, the blood flow, and it's, you know, blacks out your brain. I've been obsessed with UFC recently. My favorite player now is Charles Oliveira. Charles is a sweetheart. I think everyone loves him. He's one of the fighters that just, you cannot not. I think everyone loves him. Where are you coming to France? Well, at some point, hopefully. Let's see if you're worth watching. Maybe yes, maybe no. And keep scrolling up, guys. Are you married? Yes, I am married. Please don't spam as well. You've seen us riding with Paramount's back. Back then, I think I was HBO and probably ASPN. It's like a per-view thing. We're seeing some patterns here. Yeah, I mean, they're also promising that it's going to get cheaper per year. So now it's going to be way affordable to watch those. So that is good. But we'll see. It's also a big contract for the UFC itself. A lot of big money maker. Yes, I'm married. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia. Same country as Mirab and Ilya. I'm not wearing a dress, I'm just wearing top and the shorts. Who's your favorite UFC fighter? I always say that I like many UFC fighters for their story, for the fighting, etc. But I'll be short, I'll be brief. Georgian fighters, both Mirab and Ilya. Alex Pereira, one of my favorites. And Alex Volkanovski, and there are others too, like Jiri, Projaska, I'm liking more and more, and yeah, there are many. Explaining the experience, how you felt choking them and what happened. I'm not gonna tell you what happened. Basically, there was I was just showing technique, and there was one person who trains who said that he's been choking out before, but never by a woman, and he thinks that it's like it takes strength or something. And he said, yeah, like apply technique on me. And then, well, after asking him many questions, are you healthy? Is there anything when you've been choked out? Did you have any convulsions? Like almost like when I ask my clients so for personal trainings, you know, if they have any issues that I should be aware of. Yeah, and yeah, it all went well. He just got to sleep. I just put him on the like I had a pillow there. So I put him on the pillow. He woke up. First thing he saw me, he was like, "Oh my god!" So apparently that was technique. So that specific rear naked choke is technique, rather than that's why a woman can choke out a man. As long as she gets there, obviously, it's not that easy to choke a person who is resisting. But if we're talking the pure performance, it doesn't take that much of the strength. Well, what are your thoughts on UFC 321? Aspinall versus Khan. Aspinall wins. That's what I think. Khabib, I respect Dagestani fighters, but there's certain things that out of Dagestani fighters, I'll tell you, my favorite fighter, Islam. Like Islam Makhachev, I really do like as a fighter, and he's funny, and he's like I like his personality. Khabib, there's certain controversial he said, like after about Georgians and stuff, and Georgian style, and like that was a little bit biased. So also it has to do a lot, I think, with because they have purely male MMA culture, which is nothing wrong. I mean, it's their culture, it's their religion. But this is thing, Georgians who are Orthodox Christians and all the other Muslim surrounded areas, I think except Armenia. Armenia is also Christian. So we always had this little beef, you know, so it's Christian. And that's the thing, in Christian country, in Georgia, we have a lot of prominent women, judokas, wrestlers, arm wrestlers, boxers now. Now there's the new generation of amateur boxing, like 14, 15-year-old girls. The whole team created, and you know, for women there is a good way. So yeah, that's why I think one of the reasons why, like, I don't put usually Dagestani fighters as my all-time favorites, but definitely out of them I would say Islam is my favorite fighter. There are so many cool personalities in the UFC, hard to pick just one fighter. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, but some people will have a single favorite player, but I think it means that they are not really watching others too much. They're just someone who inspired them. And don't get me wrong, like, that's what I'm saying. Alex Perez is one of my all-time favorites. Like, I love Chama like a lot of other people, and his comeback was crazy. But again, I'm trying to follow other fighters too, and there are many. Okay, I'm also not talking about the pioneers and the retired fighters and the like, you know, like the some other prominence from the other decades. You are the strongest woman of all time. Well, not really, but thanks. Dagestani fighters need to put more character in their game. I agree, and that's why I like Islam. His fighting style and his personality outside. Like, come on, like how Islam roasts DC about being fat. Hey, come on, you're fat. Like, and then he's like about to come to 3 years, send to 3 years in Dagestan and forget. This is where it came from Islam. So he's quite a funny guy. So yeah. I wish Dagestani fighters have more character, others apart from Islam. Do you know tomorrow together? No? Dagestan fighters are top players, but these MFs sometimes bring culture and cheat into the game. Yeah, I guess, yeah, a little bit. It always has to be a balance. I understand you, everyone, all of us have our own culture. We come from certain culture, we have certain beliefs, we have certain morals and values, but, you know, it has to be balance when you go to the in environments in the fields like sports, competition, this and that. Is that true that some of the red hair in the US got bullied? I think a lot of kids, like the bully culture in the American schools is insane, but I'm not even from US, so I cannot tell you exactly. Way the WWE wrestling many people to watch and make celebrity star, like my favorite John Cena and Rey Mysterio. Alex Pereira's media game is really nice, and that's why people like him so much. Nina Drama did a good job too. Yeah, she did a good job on Alex. That's okay. That's what she said. She did a good job with him, and I think with Mirab too, and some of the fighters. She definitely been doing it well, promoting them, and yeah, I mean, I think also Alex's story is also cool, like how it started from their rivalry with Adesanya. He was literally, when he was on the downfall and literally alcoholic, watching the TV and watching Adesanya saying that guy is probably sitting somewhere in the bar talking how he beat me one more time, but he's probably just drunk, and that motivated him to come back. So that like stories sell. People want to hear stories. When are you coming to France? I don't know. Whenever I come any other place to Europe, and me and my husband, we're talking about doing a little Euro trip too, but not at this point. Alex Pereira will lose to John Jones. Well, unfortunately, that can be a thing, and there is the reasons for that. Alex is smaller for that weight class. He's actually interesting. He doesn't belong like in a light heavyweight. He's a weight bully. He's big, but then if he goes up, all of a sudden he's not that big. So I don't know. Yeah, that one. But it also depends. Like if Jones lets himself go completely, his talent's not gonna help him. It's a matter of training. But if he comes back well trained, yeah, it's not gonna be easy for Alex. Alex Pereira became a star without even talking English, like Aura. Yes. Jama. Do you know Ankalaev? Of course I know Ankalaev. I watched the last fight too. I think Alex climbed Jones. I think someone with the power like Pereira can put Jones out. Jones hasn't really fought someone with crazy power. Jones has flaws. No, Jones has flaws, but still, Jones has crazy IQ. He finds the way how to get out of here, and sometimes he cannot. He fought with the powerful fighters too, but he couldn't. They couldn't just reach him in a significant way because he has a crazy distance control. At least had. I'm not sure. I don't know what how he's doing right now. But the point is that Alex has that power. So if he gets the lucky shot, not only lucky shot, obviously, if he comes in the offense and there is like exchanges, and he gets lucky shot, he can. But it wouldn't be that easy against the well-trained Jones. The only question is if he comes back, how he comes back. It's a lot of fun stakes, so I think he would definitely lift his ass and do a proper camp. I think so. I hope so. It's crazy how Alex went back to the tire shop after the UFC 320. What a win. Yeah, like he doesn't forget where he came from. He doesn't forget those people, and I think that's great. Yeah, Alex is like 93 kilo. Yeah. He can lose because he's old, but don't say he did not fight with powerful people, dude. Yeah, I mean, exactly. He definitely fought. And one of the reasons why he's never been knocked out, because he has super IQ, he has a super distance control. Like a lot of the fighters that he fought was the power fighters. they just couldn't land those punches, you know, because there is a difference if you land those punches, and that's not that creates another scenario. But if you have someone like Jones who just doesn't let you do that, and he plays with his own game, and he also comes on the offense in a very unorthodox ways. You know, he's spinning back kicks. He's the not the shin kick, but how you call that, like the knee taps, his elbows, his spinning elbows, like he's basic striking. Jones is the hard one. Jones is a nightmare to spar with, to fight with, to deal with when it comes to that. Yeah, Alex Pereira wrestling grappling is not there, though. Let's give a guy credit. He learned how to do the takedown defenses, at least against Ankalaev. Jones should just stay retired. He should get nothing for ducking Tom. Well, from the other hand, what if they were preparing us for this White House thing? That's what I'm saying. So if actually Jones is ready to face Tom Aspinall and actually have a real fight, like that's the only way for him to redeem himself. Muay Thai fighter versus BJJ purple belt. Who wins the street fight? Muay Thai. When it comes to the street fight, it's not that much. Even as a grappler, you don't want to end up on the ground. The BJJ works in the situations. I think it's good for women to be able to escape from an attempted rape. It's a good in some specific situations, but not in the street fight, like on the street when someone literally can hit you with something or stab you. Muay Thai, I think, is the ultimate one, with the combination of the strong, powerful striking, both hands, legs, elbows, knees. I think Muay Thai. No. Lucky shot is a little bit it means a little bit different. For example, what Adesanya did, how Adesanya knocked out Pereira in the last fight was. Sorry, not lucky shot. The striker's luck. It's called. The striker's luck is not something that it's just he was lucky. No, it's a setting up, finding the right moment, and then landing that one punch that perfectly that you just knock out person. And that happens sometimes when like you might even be losing, but you do that striker's luck happen. Again, you still try to set up as a fighter. It's not like it's just lucky or something. It's just that one punch specifically that can just turn the game around. That's what I've been talking about. And against Jones, you need that one. You need that one. You know, like imagine Pereira, like throwing some punches, but then he has this one shot that just slips in and lands perfectly and just makes the Jones collapse. That would be legendary. So this is called. Sorry, it was my mistake. Not the lucky shot, but the striker's luck. Dana White is not keen on John Jones and Alex Pereira fight. No, John retired. Dana played the game so too often. But I think, guys, I'm not saying that happening 100%, but Dana White is hell of the actor himself. There's so many things he said wouldn't happen, and then things changed. Striking versus grappling, what do you enjoy most? I actually enjoy grappling quite much, and I think I'm naturally not bad at it. But I've been training boxing, so like as a boxing, I would still pick striking. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, the country. Hello from Malaysia. Hello to Malaysia. If you can really box, show me a pull counter. We really got hands. Bam, bam, boom, boom. This is if you meant that as the pull counter, because you got to clarify some terms sometimes. I've been taught boxing mostly in Russian and Georgian, so it's like a lot of Soviet terms. But as I said, keep stay around, stick around. When I'm back in the chunk, gonna get back to. I'm even gonna hire another trainer, the good guy there, who I do personal trainings with too, at least once a week, so he can have his way with my training. And it's always helpful to engage other coach, especially if that's a good coach, to clean up the gaps. John wants Pereira. He doesn't want Tom between praise assessment. Yeah, because Pereira is way easier for Jones than Tom. But again, we shall see. We shall see. They keep it as the mystery. They're just speculating. They let rumors to go around, and this is basically like hyping it up. You don't have any idea. That's how beautiful you are. I just don't focus on it because looks fade. In a few decades, I'm gonna be old. I'm gonna be a grandma. Hopefully, to have children and grandkids, and looks fade. You can always stay fit. You can always take care of yourself. But it's a personality, values, your choices, your actions. That's what makes you truly beautiful. So that's what we all should focus on. Gun wins between Muay Thai and BJJ in the streets. Yes, gun for a win against everything. I believe Jones can win against Pereira, but it's hard to fight against Aspinall at this age. It's the fact that he's trying to skip Aspinall and Pereira. Yeah, it is, and you can't blame him exactly. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to break his unbeaten record and all that kind of stuff. But we shall see. We shall see. We'll see that at the end when we know the actual card for the White House. Or any other events. They might do some other bigger events future down the line. Though he's in the age already that it makes sense for him to retire, and I wouldn't blame him. The problem is he was stretching it out way too long. This is where people were angry. He didn't want to give up the belt. He was just sitting there when he could just retire straight away when asked, and he could be honest. No, I'm way too old for that shit. I'm done. Here is the vacant belt. So it took time, and that's what pissed people off. Aspinall versus Pereira will be a more exciting match. I would put this as an alternative. Yeah, why not? That could happen. I think a lot of people. This is something that a lot of people might not even think about because they focus too much rather Jones versus Pereira or Jones versus Aspinall, and then it's what if we make Aspinall versus Pereira? So it might. Aspinall wins. He's even bigger than Jones, so I think Aspinall just crushes Pereira. As much as I love Pereira, but. Mayweather style pull counter, Red. Yes. Well, I gotta stand up for it, but I want to do it now. That was pretty much. If you do it boom, you go or backwards, bam, bam, and then you throw that long right. At least that's how I've been taught. Though I'll be honest, I don't use too much. I use counters laying under, so because I'm shorter, I don't go backwards and forward. To me, it makes way more sense to literally lay under the armpit, shorten the distance, and then go from there. So I haven't been doing the back Mayweather's type pull counters pretty much. I don't do that. What you train for? Or maybe get to pro, do the pro record, open the pro record, and do the professional fights in the boxing, and show you my journey here. Yeah, Aspinall's winning that. That's true. Are you practicing Muay Thai or MMA or Judo? I'm practicing boxing purely at this point. Aspen with Ragdoll Pereira, in my opinion, with his wrestling and athleticism. I mean, he's way bigger, he's super powerful, he's way more well-rounded as Pereira. So for Pereira, that would be a suicide to agree for that fight. Bivol style of boxing looks cool, Soviet style all the way. Yeah, but Bivol style is not like a pure Soviet style. It's like you can call it a modernized style, because there are a lot of elements of the, I don't know, there's something individual about him. He's not just, and that's what makes him unique. That's why Bivol's Soviet footwork, like a distance control and bouncing, is so memorable, because there is elements of this Soviet style, but there's also something he's individual. Maybe one day I'm gonna finish this smoothie. You must try Kalari Patu, ancient martial art. Tell me more about it. I never heard about that one. You're so beautiful. Thanks, I appreciate it. Who will win if Khabib fought Brock Lesnar? So you mean Khabib and Daniel Cormier together fought Brock Lesnar? I don't know, maybe some bar fight. 2 against 1 is always better. I mean, DC at his prime was one of the best. I think he was only behind Jones, technically. So I would go for DC against Brock Lesnar. Original Indian history, at least 2,500 years old. Well, the oldest religion in the world, which is Hinduism, like not the branches, like the original Hinduism that comes from India too. And yeah, you guys have a lot of ancient stuff there. You like cold coffee? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do like cold coffee. Sorry. What do you think about Conor McGregor? Do you think he can beat Khabib if you rematch him? I don't think at this point Conor will train at that level, and also he's way past his prime. Also with his lifestyle, trust me guys, alcohol, drugs, all like sleepless nights, partying, all of those things affect your like it declines your prime even faster. So no, I don't think so. I think Khabib has a better chance to actually get back to competitive level, not maybe against the majority of the lightweights, but specifically Conor in this case. Is it possible to learn martial arts and practice basics alone for simple self-defense? I think you can learn any moment by yourself. You can use internet, you can use some courses or some YouTube trainings. No problem about that. However, you need to put it in practice. So for that, you need people, and not only one or two. You need a group, so you can switch and practice whatever martial art you do. So I would still recommend to go. Also, the problem with self-teaching is if you don't have any background, if you're not actually good, let's say you're boxing but you're retired, but you decided to clean up your technique, that's one thing. But if you're starting from scratch, you might teach yourself it in a wrong way, so you might make certain mistakes. It's always harder to fix those mistakes when you already got used to it. That's why it's better, always better to go to the gym. Do you think Jones versus Dominic Greg's fight was robbery? Well, someone's saying that Jones still won, but it was close fight. It just looked with Dominic was quite dominant in the beginning, but then it was hesitant fight from Jones too. It was like, it was going. It was quite calculated from both sides. I honestly, one time I watched it, I thought Reyes won. The second time I watched it, I still think that Jones had it on his side more, and then obviously he was also champion, so he kind of like, it wasn't good enough on the Reyes' side to pull that one on for himself. But then now, like, I'm not even sure. I have to rewatch it. I just remember that it's like been super close fight, and you know what happens on those super close fights. Even if the contender wins, it still can be a draw, or they can give it to the champion. You're from Georgia, yes. Okay, Bodhi Tarama Kalaripatu, give it to Chinese and it became Kung Fu. There, then it spread more. Wow, that's interesting. Thank you for educating me. After 6 months and 1 year from his first loss. You mean Jones? But he has one that was disqualification technically, so it was not a loss. Conor ain't fighting no more. He's running from the press. That's a good point. I won't be surprised that the Irish people choose him, because I know how is the politics are. So so much things went too much on the left side, and it actually creates a terror within the regular people that just someone, and even if it's Conor McGregor, who is not even a politician, who is not even qualified to be a politician, says a certain common stuff, like common sense, and certain things that actually are the problem. People, you know how it works. People might vote, and well, we'll see. We'll see. That will be the funny one. I'm not saying that the issues should not be solved in Ireland and in Europe, and in Georgia we have also our issues. I'm not saying anything against that, but there is difference when you have an actual qualified politician who has the right stances and has a good understanding of the real issues in the country, and they build their campaign on, okay, I'm gonna come and solve those issues, and I'm gonna do my best within, this is the plan, this is the timing. And between person who is, again, it's just somewhere outside of the politics from sports, we have some people in the sports, in the governors and the mayors, and that's not good, guys. Trust me, that's not good. Unless you can be an athlete and still have a super good education. What was the MMA fighter? He was a math guy and very smart. He's actually co-owners of the one championship I won at this point. Handsome fighter actually too. Forgot his name, but this is another story. You can be a fighter, but also have your education, and you can move and follow that education and work for it later on. That's also nothing wrong. But yeah, I mean, I already told my opinion on that one. Don't spend time on martial arts anymore. You have no feminine energy. Well, my husband, actually I'm at my most feminine at this point, because obviously you don't do anything, when you do boxing, martial arts, you have to be focused. It's definitely more masculine as its nature, but it's about how much feminine or masculine you are in other aspects of your life. In my relationship, and generally I'm in a relationship with people, I'm probably the most feminine that I ever been. I've been way more masculine, way more in this survival mode, because I had a lot of duties, responsibilities. I had to take care of my family, things, and I was plus sports, and I was quite masculine. So I don't know. You haven't met me before, so you can't judge. But I definitely don't feel to be like no femininity. I definitely feel that I have the most femininity that I ever had, and I love it. How old are you? I'm 25. What weight class do you fight? All the way down to 51, 48. So I think it's a boxing flyweight and minimum weight. How to start boxing as an amateur? Go to the gym, make friends, talk to the coach, and just learn. And everyone else is gonna help you too. I tried Taekwondo for months, and everything I would stand still looking at my teacher because I had no idea about these movements. Like I would get lost about what he was saying. Eventually, I stopped. Well, that's the thing. I think you should be able to ask questions, and there is nothing wrong with as an amateur to be. You know what? I didn't get it. I got lost. I got zoned out. A good coach gonna take time and help you to do your best. He might tell you, okay, now I have a class, so I cannot just focus on you. But later, he will try to give you recommendations. He will try to explain that movement, and he will try at the very least encourage you to not give up, even if you cannot do something specifically, some movement or some combination. There is nothing wrong with that. Gradually, you're gonna pick it up. So don't use that as a reason next time if you try any other martial art or any other sport. Just don't be too hard on yourself. It's completely okay to zone out as a beginner. Completely okay to not be lost on it. My height is 161 centimeters or 5'2" feet. What's your everyday food? Meat. In Southeast Asia, a lot of like rice, meat, vegetables, coffee, smoothies, coconut water, something like around that. And I can eat similar food quite often. Do you ever get broken training or fighting in the boxing training? But not broken. It got shifted, so my septum is deformed. And if you look at my nostrils, this one is smaller because it's shifted in. But I can breathe with my, I was on and off on the medication and it would make worse, but finally, actually after I came to Southeast Asia, the climate helped me somehow. So now I can breathe pretty much. This one a little bit worse, this one is better. I'm not getting any surgery because there is no point at this point if I'm planning to fight more. It would make sense to get the surgery only after and actually retiring for good. Do you think that Conor McGregor can beat Khabib after his first loss by 6 months, 1 year? You mean, what do you mean exactly? Because that was very long ago and he didn't win. He lost twice. Boxer girl. Hi, Iran. Iran. The sad thing is that Iran is quite a beautiful country, and sometimes politics makes it harder to visit those countries more. But I hope one day that changes and people are more free, and the tourists from outside are also more free to visit it. And yeah. Currently, I'm brown belt in Kyokushin Karate. That's like almost like a cousin to Goju-ryu. I can do better in MMA. Miss my record is 12-0 in karate. Your opinion? Will try it. It's that definitely potential. If you have 12-0 in whichever sport, that means you have a potential. It depends on the level of competition, but you can always upgrade. You can always upgrade depending what the competition demands from you. So go for it. What martial arts would you suggest for self-defense, considering there are no rules on the streets? Gun. If you can, a gun, a mace, a pepper spray, running, train sprinting, be environmentally aware. Those are the best advices to give on self-defense. But if we're talking about martial arts to just have a backup skill for it, I would say boxing, Muay Thai, or boxing can be too, but Muay Thai also gives you more, like you can keep throwing some knees and legs. And BJJ on the ground, just in case, especially for a woman. BJJ was created for a weaker opponent to be able to dominate from the ground and change the course of the action from the ground. So I would recommend those two. Sorry, I have I think my jaw got a little bit tense after that much talking. Muay Thai is the best for the streets. Well, exactly. You're a good woman. Thanks. Do you ever see you transitioning yourself Muay Thai from boxing? Not really, because I don't know. I would have to go from this hellish shin training, and it's like I think I was doing that in karate, but like it just didn't agree with me so well. Boxing, from the other hand, is where I feel more natural. I have a tattoo here. It's actually an interesting tattoo. I can show you easy. It's like a top, so that's a rose and sword in it, and that tattoo, hear me out, Irish people, if you're here in the chat, that was inspired by Dropkick Murphys' Rose tattoo song, one of my favorite songs, and yeah, I just got inspired by it, so I got it. It's also like a reference to the brave part. What do you know about Ethiopia? That's in Africa? That's all I know. What is the concept? Talking about UFC in this live chat quite a lot, but pretty much in all of my live chats, live streams, we're talking about UFC, boxing, upcoming events, and who we got and all that kind of stuff. And I'm on the vacation now, so I'm doing more like a talking live streams, but when I get back to Nachang, I'll start doing back again the boxing live streams where I actually do boxing basics, training live streams, and all that kind of stuff. Hi Indonesia, I'm from Georgia. What do you think of French people? Very romantic. Hi, what's your name? Diana. That's someone, I think you're the first one in this live stream who asked my actual name. What are your thoughts on the power slap? Would you ever try that? LOL. That's like a guaranteed CTE, no thanks, and it's the stupidest thing ever. It might be exciting to watch, but it's stupid. I'm here pro health, guys, I love sport, but I'm also trying to share things that are good for health and good for long-term health, and even as a professional athlete you could follow those recommendations, and actually when you finish your career you can keep being healthy. You're a rose with a spirit like a sword. Thank you. How old are you, girl? I'm 25 years old. I got your name written here, and a rose tattoo, and a rose tattoo, and a rose tattoo. I got your name written here, and a rose tattoo. Yeah, I had to sing that line. Thank you, Miss. I'm motivated a lot. I will try to represent my country, India, in UFC, and shut up this anti-India narratives. Well, I mean, it's just like at this point there is no one from your country who is in the UFC, who is in the high elite of the martial arts, but that's good for you because you can be the one who proves that wrong, right? Who changes everything. that will happen to Georgia at some point, you know, like after Merab and Ilya. It was Giga Chikadze was the first fighter, but the first champion was Merab, and then you have Ilya, and here you go, right? So no one knew Georgia years ago, and now Georgia is one of the countries, dominating countries in UFC. So good luck with that. You're a boxer, yes? What's your favorite leg kick? Spinning back kick and the low kicks. Your thoughts on regular sparring giving you brain damage, is that true? Well, actually, I'm going to take this opportunity and say the condolences for the poor 17-year-old girl who wasn't even a professional athlete. She was training boxing like 2 months, and she got killed basically. She died on the sparring, after the sparring. No, like resulting as a sparring, because she got some heavy blows with more experienced boxer. And she collapsed in convulsions, was hospitalized, and they essentially could not save her. And that brought, first of all, mismatching on the sparrings, you know, because they're different. Unfortunately, there is still a culture, like even if the coach says it's a light sparring day, people can get, like, turned into a war, that light sparring, and that has to be strictly managed, okay? And that's why I rather spar with personalities who like playful sparrings, more like a Thailand style. They actually spar lightly, and they know how to control the pressure, their power, rather than with the gyms where the heavy sparrings, like damaging each other, is a normal thing. That's not normal. It's not good. More of the technical sparrings, more of the combination, more of the work. Even when the more you become professional, you actually have fights, you don't, like, I know one fighter who is an MMA fighter who stopped sparring. He doesn't spar. He does everything else. He trains like he's fighting. He trains like he's hungry for the fight, but he doesn't do heavy sparring at all. Maybe some light sparring, and that's at its best. But he's quite healthy, and he does quite good on his fights, and I believe he's going to end up quite healthy. So you don't want to get too much damage and too much blows in your head. And unfortunately, when you say, oh, you need to get used in the training, well, that's the thing. There is no such a thing as hardening your chin. That's BS. There is no such a thing as that. You can get used to the sense of getting hit, but even that you don't do often. And mostly you do very light or you do moderate, okay? And using the as much protection as you can, the mouse guard, the helmet, and like that disparity. When I was put with someone who is 2 months old, I never punch heavy. I never do that. I let them punch. I throw some counters. I even regulated speed to see for how they can adapt to actually learn something. Because 2 months is nothing. It's just a beginner, and that's my take. I like that more and more people bring that topic up and talk about that all nonsense about going too heavy all the time and that kind of stuff, because it's damaging. When micronutrient supplements, do you take your world recommend for aspiring combat athletes? I didn't get are you talking about supplements? Supplements, I usually take multivitamin, omega-3, I take creatine, and then sometimes I take some other stuff too, but again, all of them are like a supplement base. I never took steroids, nothing like that. One day I'll come to Brazil. Would love to. Me and my husband, we travel together. It's okay to me. I don't care about what people ask me. Well, I mean, to me it's okay to be asked about weight, age, and height, all that kind of stuff. So I'm 25 years old. Well, my phone is dying actually, so I think soon we're gonna have to wrap it up. Yeah, cricket. Cricket is actually the biggest sport in the world because there's so many of you following it, and it's also, I think, some Chinese people, quite a lot of Chinese people are also into cricket. So yeah, it's the biggest sport, but in the West, we're not really follow it too much. Oh, nice to meet you. I'm from Indonesia. Good night. Good night to you too. Nice to meet you. I'm doing well. Dimitri Johnson said that he doesn't spar unless he has a fight coming up. Exactly, and even there you don't spar heavy. Imagine sparring crazy heavy before your actual fight. It's like doing the marathon before the marathon, like exactly before. Like that's not how you do. You might do it once, but the less experienced you are, maybe you need a couple heavier sparrings off the competition just to see where you're at. But otherwise, the more experience you have, like if you're at the Dimitri Johnson level, you already know what to do to fight. You're a fighter, you know what to do. So you don't really need to spar heavy on the preparational period. You need to work stamina, you can wrestle heavy, you can like those kind of things. That's the good thing about MMA. You can do like a hardcore wrestling. That's way less damaging when it comes to your head than the striking. And yeah, as simple as that. Okay, Miss, we'll meet in the press conference in UFC after winning my belt. Remember my name and save this live stream. It's gonna be saved, and good luck. Good luck. I wish you all the best. Nothing is impossible. My hair is fake. That's right, because I'm not naturally redhead. Okay, so guys, for certain idiocracy, I'm just gonna hide people from channel, okay? Don't be disrespectful to me, and also don't be disrespectful to people in the chat. Why is your husband bald? I don't know, he is. High testosterone, I guess. But guys, I gotta go now. Thanks for being here, and this live stream was quite engaging actually. More views than average, so I think the momentum is coming back. So thank you for engaging and helping basically growing my channel. I see you in the next live stream. See ya.